steady as a rock, sharp as a tack, but humble. Come on, boy, get up here and say a few words for your old dad. Let's hear it now, big and
Sure,
loud.
Dad.
Huh?
Vote for Gillis. Vote for Herbert T. Gillis for the Planning Commission.
No, more room. Stir 'em up, shock 'em. Listen to the old pro. A vote for Herbert T. Gillis is a vote against his opponent, Cheever. Cheever is a rascal. Cheever is a scoundrel.
Dad, are you sure this Mr. Cheever's such a rascal and a scoundrel? I've heard he's
He's
kind of
against me, ain't he?
Cheever's a rascal. Cheever's a scoundrel. Here, voters, read all about Herbert T. Gillis, the honest, decent candidate, and his opponent, George J. Cheever, the rascal and scoundrel. Voters,
Keep talking, boy. What are you stopping for? No, with a stupid question. Where is she? Where are you going?
Hello there, little lady. Here to learn about the fascinating world of politics?
Sounds exciting.
Oh, it is. And happily you've come to exactly the right person. I'd be delighted to teach you everything I can. It may take hours far, far into the night, but I shall tell you all about honest, upright candidates like Herbert T. Gillis and rascals and scoundrels like his low-down opponent, George J. Cheever.
You will?
Mais oui, mon petit. You see, I happen to be an eminent authority on the subject. I'm the upright candidate's son, Dobie Gillis.
And I am the rascal and scoundrel's daughter, Betty Jane Cheever.
Talk about luck. I mean, you talk about luck. I wouldn't recognize it if it ran up and bit me. I see so little of it. Here I meet the girl I've been searching for all my life. And who does she turn out to be? The daughter of my father's deadly political enemy.
What difference does that make when a boy and girl meet and they like each other? We do like each other, don't we?
Let's get married. Does that answer your question?
You're real cute.
Yeah.
So you see, we'd be foolish to let a thing like politics come between us. Don't you think?
Don't move. I'll be right back. Dad, that girl.
Okay, son, how much do you want?
No, Dad.
Look, you've been working hard in the store, and you need a little relaxation.
Dad,
boy,
look,
here,
look.
take a couple of bucks. will you?
Dad, the girl's name is Cheever. She's your opponent's daughter.
Cheever's daughter? What pretty trick is she up
I
to?
don't know. She seems very friendly.
Oh, that sneaky Cheever taking advantage of a poor innocent boy. Here, son, here's $5. Go down and see if you can worm any information out of her.
Dad, she's not that kind of a girl.
That's what they said about Nana Harry.
Dad, look.
Son, we are going to run this campaign fair and square. Now, you get over there, and if you can get anything out of her about her old man, we'll smear him good.
Dad, I can handle this myself. You're acting like you don't trust me.
Well, of course I trust you. I trust you completely. Like as if you was my own son.
Dad's suspicions about Betty Jane were ridiculous. I took her over to the campus cafeteria for ice cream, and she was very understanding when I tried to explain to her what kind of a man Dad really is, underneath. Now, it isn't easy to explain Dad to a stranger, or even to a friend. Come to think of it, I haven't got the vaguest notion of what makes him tick. Whatever Dad does, he goes all out to win.
My father's an entirely different sort of man. He's a librarian, quiet and reserved. He doesn't seem to enjoy getting out and arguing with people like your father seems to.
Gee, he doesn't sound like the kind of man you'd expect to see running for office.
He isn't. He's only running because he feels so strongly about Proposition E.
Proposition who?
Proposition E. You know, the bill to tear down those horrible old tenement buildings on the north side so that they can put up beautiful new schools and parks and playgrounds.
Oh, that Proposition E.
I can't believe your father hasn't taken some stand on it.
Betty Jane, I know my father, and believe me, I can believe it.
Dobie, I would hate to see the election come between us, but how can your father run for public office if he isn't simply crammed full of information on all the facts and issues?
Facts? Issues? I ignore them.
Well, what about Proposition E?
Proposition who?
Betty Jane was right. You don't have any interest in the basic questions of this election.
I knew we'd have trouble with Cheever. I'm going to have him brought up on charges of premeditated arson or something.
Dad, you don't know anything about Proposition E, do you?
I don't have to. I'm in politics now.
It's a miserable scheme, Herb. Some crack-brained notion they gotta tear down the whole north side.
Okay, you got to be kidding. The north side? Why, that's the oldest neighborhood in town.
Dad, it's a slum.
It is not. Some of our biggest industries have their factories over there. The Snappy Buggy Whip Company, Sanitary Whippletrees Incorporated, Race About Electric Car Corporation.
I was born in that neighborhood, and you was too, Herb.
Right, why them time-honored old buildings may be not too fancy, no deluxe trimmings.
Like plumbing?
Never mind. So they ain't got the latest facilities, but it's neighborhoods like that that build character. Why, some of them grand old buildings been standing there over 150 years, and to tear them down would be sheer waste and destruction. And I go on record as being strongly and logically opposed to Proposition E.
In that case, Dad, I don't know if I can support you.
You what?
You can't expect me to support you just because you're my father.
Why not? I support you just because you're my son.
Shame on you, Herbert. Instead of being angry with Dobie, you ought to be proud that he wants to be an independent voter.
Well, maybe you're right, Winnie. Son, I'm sorry I yapped at you. I keep forgetting you're not like the general run of voters, empty-headed, vacuum-brained, lost in a fog.
You rang? Like hi, Mr. M, like hi, Mr. G, like hi, Dom G, like hi, Mrs. G.
Hello, dear.
Now, there goes a typical voter. No interest in the issues. All they want is noise and fireworks. Watch this. They're going to tear down the north side.
Oh, woe is me.
The old and wonderful historical North Side.
Like a lass in a lack.
Why, certainly. That neighborhood isn't just houses and buildings and streets. Hands off the north side, I say.
Hands off the north side, I say.
Tradition, history, memories.
Hands off the north side.
Right, and they want to tear it down. Are we going to let them?
Hands off the north side.
Right, hands off the north side.
Mr. G.
What?
Where's the north side?
What's the matter with you? It's that neighborhood right up there on River Street.
Oh, yeah, the slums.
Wait a minute, Maynard. That ain't the slums.
Certainly not. It's neighborhoods like that that build character, prepare you for the battle of life, toughen you up, forge you into steel. Hands off tradition, I say.
No, Dad. Betty Jane showed me that it's important to understand what a candidate stands for. It's something I should have figured out for myself.
Hi, Miss Gillis. We're from the Daily Courier.
Hello.
Ah, distinguished gentlemen of the press, welcome.
How about a couple of pictures and maybe a brief policy statement?
Hands off the slums. They build character and force us into stealing.
Maynard, that is forge us into steel and butt out. I have a statement to make. Now, a few words upon the issues. My opponent, Cheever, is a librarian, a do-gooder. What experience does he have to face the cold, hard facts of life? None. Now, when the voters find this out, I just had a great idea. Let us debate the issues on television. Let the voters decide whether they want a namby-pamby thinker or a two-fisted go-getter. And if Cheever is half the man Herbert T. Gillis is, he won't never refuse no challenge.
Okay, Mr. Gillis, we'll straighten out the grammar and print your challenge in the morning edition. Now, how about a little family picture? Mrs. Gillis, you want to stand over here next to your husband?
I'm Mulcahy, the candidate's Lot's brother and also his campaign manager.
I'm Manny G. Krebs, and I'm for the slums.
Well, wait a minute, who are you?
Dobie Gillis, sir.
Oh, the candidate's son. We'll move over right over here, boy, next to your father.
No, sir, I don't think I'd better. I mean, it wouldn't be right for me to pose in the picture.
How come?
Well, sir, I think my father's a wonderful guy, and I love him and respect him, but
But what?
But what, son? What?
I've got to campaign for Mr. Cheever.
And stay out.
There comes a time when a fella's got to stand up for his principles. When Dad refused to even listen to those principles and threw me out, well, it hurt my pride. It hurt my self-respect. It hurt.
Thank you so much for hearing our side. And remember, vote for George J. Cheever, friends. He's for Proposition E. He's a man of principle, he knows the issues, and he knows the facts.
Not so loud, dear. We don't want to disturb the people who live around here.
Daddy, we've got to let everybody know what this campaign is all about. We're in a rough, tough election. You can't just... Oh, hi, Dobie.
Hi, Betty Jane.
Daddy, this is Dobie Gillis.
How do you do, Mr. Cheever? It's an honor to meet you.
Likewise, my boy. I've heard very good things about you. Yes, very good things from Betty Jane.
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, I must have said the wrong thing again, but then I usually do.
No, you don't, sir. At least not about the issues in this campaign. That's why I've come to volunteer whatever help I can give. I'm for Proposition E, and I'm for you.
Well, that's terribly kind of you, Dobie. But what about your father? What does he think of this?
My father and I aren't talking. I've just moved out of the house, by request. Now, what can I do to help your campaign, Mr. Cheever? Just name it.
Dobie, I'm grateful for your support, but I won't let the election come between you and your father.
Well, Dad just doesn't understand.
Well, have you tried to explain this to him?
Sure.
I mean, really explain?
Well,
Well, try it, my boy. Elections and issues are important, certainly, and a young man's enthusiasm is exciting to behold. But none of these things compares even slightly to the bond between a father and a son.
Daddy's right, Dobie. Don't turn your back on your father till you've had a chance to discuss this with him calmly and quietly.
I'm sure you'll listen to your explanation with an open mind. He's a fair man.
Sure, I'll listen to your explanation with an open mind. I'm a fair man.
thanks, Dad. I was hoping you'd feel that way.
Sure, so start talking, Benedict Arnold.
Herbert, you said you'd be fair.
Okay, I'm fair. Explain already.
Now, in the
Why
first place...
did you do it, son? Why? Have I been a cruel father? Have I been mean to you?
Herbert, let him explain.
Who's stopping him? Explain already.
You see, Dad,
You'd think that I didn't do everything I could to make you happy.
Herbert, let him explain.
Explain.
Dad, I've met Mr. Cheever, and you're 100 times better candidate than he is.
Huh?
Absolutely. He's drab and dull. You're colorful and dashing. He's timid and shy. You're dynamic and forceful.
You see, Winnie, how I don't interrupt the boy when he's talking sense?
You see, Herbert, what your son thinks of you. Now you forgive him. You go ahead and forgive him.
Sure, son, I forgive you. And welcome home.
Thank you, Dad.
You
Thank
just
you.
felt sorry for Cheever because he's a schnook, because he's dull and drab, and I'm colorful and dashing.
That's right, Dad. That's
because he's timid and I'm forceful.
Yes, Dad.
And because he's shy and I'm dynamic.
Yes, Dad. But there's one important difference.
What's that?
He's right and you're wrong.
And I mean, stay out.
So I made up my mind to move away from home for good and plunge into the campaign to elect Mr. Cheever. I had to prove, especially to myself, that I've got backbone. Yes, my fellow citizens, the issue here is progress or stagnation. Will our town wither and die, strangled by crumbling slums, or will it prosper and grow with Proposition E and George J. Cheever?
Just a minute, laddie. What about loyalty? Can we believe a kid who double-crossed his own father?
Sir, if my father was a candidate for the world's greatest father, I'd be campaigning for him. He's a great guy, and I love him. But he's all wrong on Proposition E, and that's why I'm for Cheever. Hi, Dad.
Like, hi, Mr. G. Beard's the most, huh?
The election campaign went on hot and heavy, in parks and auditoriums and on street corners.
Thank you, fellow citizens and fans of good government. And I promise you that I shall conduct this campaign upon the highest possible level. No insinuations, no innuendos, no name-calling like my sleazy, slinky-eyed, treacherous opponent and his crooked supporters.
But the big guns were saved for the television debates, and they were a smash in at least one way. They even topped the famous Kennedy-Nixon contest. They were louder.
Please, the federal law specifically forbids the use of such language on the air. You understand, Mr. Gillis. Any further outbursts and we may be censored off the air. Now, Mr. Cheever, please continue.
Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get right to the heart of the issue by stating bluntly and frankly that I forgot my glasses. Dear, I don't see very well without my glasses.
Let's be honest. Mr. Cheever was not the best speaker in the world. Let's be even more honest. He was the worst. I mean, that audience in the television studio kept looking at the exits like they were waiting for somebody to holler, "Women and children first." Finally, he finished, and then it was Dad's turn. Boy, what a difference. Mr. Cheever's speech meant very little, but Dad's speech, on the other hand, meant absolutely nothing.
Have we lost the pioneer spirit? Do we need facts and figures to tell us what is right? I say no. Mr. Cheever wants to do away with the North Side because it's getting old. Maybe our wives are getting old, too. But do we want to do away with them? No, because we still love them, and they bring back fond memories. And so I shall fight to the death to preserve my right not to throw away my old wife or the old North Side.
Did you hear that double talk and gibberish? You can imagine how the audience reacted to it.
Just come down to City Hall. My office door will always be open.
Good night, Mr. Commissioner.
Good night, Mulcahy.
Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow.
Hey, Dobe, you'd have been proud of your old man tonight. They applauded and whistled and I keep forgetting he ain't here, the treacherous traitor.
It seems so empty and quiet here without him. Herbert, please go and find our boy and bring him home. What shall it availeth you if you win the election and loseth your own son?
You know how much I'd like to do it, Winnie, but I just can't.
Herbert, there isn't anything that you can't if it will hold our family together. Please go and find him.
You're right, Winnie. No sacrifice is too great for our boy. I'll start first thing in the morning.
Thank you, dear, thank you. You may have to search all over town to locate him.
I'll do it.
You may have to swallow your pride.
I'll do it.
You may have to talk to Maynard.
I'll do it. That ought to prove to you how much I love the boy.
Vote for Cheever, folks. Vote for Cheever. On election day, get out there and exercise your franchise for good government.
Like right. Don't get caught running around with no flabby franchises. Vote for Cheever like he's the most, like he's the wildest. Like bye. No, negative. I'm capital N-O-E. No, I ain't telling.
Telling what?
Where my good buddy Dobie is. I like owe them in blood I wouldn't think, and I ain't gonna ride on my true pal Dobie. I mean, he can like rely on me.
Maynard, please. Where is Dobie?
Dobie who?
Come on, Maynard.
Describe him.
Maynard, this is serious. I gotta see my boy, Dobie.
Dobie who?
Miss, you know where he is. Come on, please tell me. Where's Dobie?
Dobie who?
All right. So after the way I treated him, I don't deserve to ever see him again or talk to him again. I was mean and rude and rotten.
No. You were just a little quick-tempered.
He was right the first time.
Maynard! I agree with you. But, miss, you gotta take me to Dobie. I gotta see him. I gotta make up with him. I just gotta. Come on now. Where's Dobie?
Dobie who?
Coming. But the voters of our city must see for themselves how a rundown neighborhood destroys the morale of everyone who lives in it. Hi, Dad.
Oh, boy.
How's Mom?
Oh, she's fine. Misses you, of course.
I miss her, too. Maynard, you promised you wouldn't tell where I was.
I couldn't help it, Dobe. Did you ever see a grown man cry? It's spooky.
Don't blame Maynard, Dobie. You and your father can't go on acting like strangers to each other. It's terrible for both of you.
That's good thinking, girlie, especially for the Cheever. Dobe, what are you doing in a dump like this?
Oh, this isn't a dump, Dad. It's one of the glorious and historical landmarks of the North Side. The whole place reeks of tradition.
So that's what it is, huh? Everything's so changed around here. It's only a short 35 years. How can a neighborhood change so much in such a short time? Maybe it hasn't changed and everything else has, like me. People still live around here, too, and not just for a couple of days like you, son, but permanently. Live here, bring up their kids here. They gotta play out in those dirty streets and beat up lots. It's a crying shame. Anybody that would raise kids in a neighborhood like this ought to be run out of town.
There's another way, Dad. Give them a better place to bring up their kids.
What can I say, boy? I just didn't give 2 seconds thought to things I should have known all along. I'm selfish and self-centered and mule-headed.
No, you're not.
Sure he is.
This whole neighborhood has to be torn down and rebuilt again so the people can live here like people. The old North Side just ain't what it used to be. You know, come to think of it, it probably never was.
Yeah, Dad, I knew you'd understand. Once you faced up to the facts.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gillis.
Mr. G, you're like a real human being. I don't care what anybody says.
All right. Let's not get all flustered just because I caught on, huh? After all, you know, I don't have to have the roof fall in on me. Maybe it'll help.
My father's a man with a strong, stubborn mind. But never let it be said that his mind can't be changed. It's a cinch. All it takes is for the roof to fall in on him. And that's why when Herbert T. Gillis showed up for the second television debate, he was a different Herbert T. Gillis.
Lame brains. If we allow poverty, disease, and crime to continue running wild just because we want to hold on to something that ain't there anymore and probably never was. So I say, let's all say goodbye to the old North Side. That's yesterday. And let's get out and fight for Proposition E. That's tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I could never have presented such a stirring argument for Proposition E as Mr. Gillis has just done. So I'm withdrawing from the campaign to allow him to be elected unanimous.
Cheever, oh no you don't. Don't be a dirty turncoat like me. I withdraw.
Gentlemen, please, no abusive language.
I withdraw.
Cheever, you are an impractical egghead. Why don't you use that egghead of yours for something besides keeping your wrists from flapping together like a couple of cymbals?
Mr. Gillis, for shame. I warned you about the censor. At any rate, the laws of our city do not allow either candidate to withdraw at this time. So the decision must be left to the voters.
Voters, vote for Cheever!
No, vote for Gillis.
No, vote
He's
for
a fighter.
Cheever. I am telling you.
He's the one.
The campaign to elect a new planning commissioner had begun. And what a campaign. It was unusual and different, and, well, what it was ridiculous. I mean, Dad campaigned for Mr. Cheever, and Mr. Cheever campaigned for Dad, and Maynard and Betty Jane and I campaigned for everybody. It's campaigns like this that make you wonder if Paul Revere shouldn't have fallen off his horse.
Yes, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I've just been handed the final tally. Cheever, 1,682. Gillis, 1,683. Gillis wins by 1 vote.
Oh, thank you, friends, neighbors, and fans of good government. The people have spoken by an overwhelming majority.
1 vote? Overwhelming?
Never mind, Maynard. And on this grand and glorious occasion, I have prepared a few words of appreciation. From the rock-bound coasts of Maine to the sunny shores of California, I find
he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
Let me say thank you. Sold this many papers in months.
All right, you guys, 4 stand the grammar skates. Stand back, folks. We got a grip of the tree band.
What's going on,
Just past
constituent?
Proposition E, you know.
We know, son.
So we're tearing all this down. We're going to put up some new houses, schools, a shopping center. Take a look at it. This store is part of the 10 blocks that got to come down. Hey, Lionel, rev it up the Frana store.
Hey, hold it, you kids.
That's what it looks like the main foundation.
Come in here and tear down the
completely wrong, of course, but, well, what they are is right. I mean, I can see how my father might give that kind of impression, but that's not the real Herbert T. Gillis. No, sir. Here, I'll show you how he really is.
You are right, Hogan. No businessman should send a note like this to a customer.
Now you are talking.
But a customer means somebody who buys groceries. And in my book, to buy groceries means to pay for groceries, and that lets you out.
Stop! Stop. All right, so that was a bad example. But Mr. Hogan's the kind of fellow who can make anybody mad. Look, I'll show you how he acts toward our nice customers.
Enough for 8 of us, all on diets, but with very little willpower. Get it down by 1 o'clock, okay?
Just a minute.
Later.
I happen to be a high. One of you won't look like a 2-bit old...
Stop. I'm sure he acted pleasant once. I remember the time. Let's just try once more. Now, you're going to see a kind, sweet, generous Herbert T. Gillis. But what bugs me is that when a person like Dad acts nice, everybody gets suspicious. It's awful. You'll see.
Come here, I want to talk to you.
Something wrong, dear?
If anything was wrong, would I be around buying high-class gifts for my loved ones? Here, you too, Maynard.
Why, what in the world?
Hey, Dope, that ain't your father. Somebody kidnapped him and stole his face.
Maynard.
I'll prove it. Ask him a trick question, like his social security number. G, Mr. G. Bubble bath.
You deserve it, kid. Come on, let's open it up here.
Oh, a mink coat. Oh, Herb. For me?
Well, I'd look kind of silly going to lodge in it, wouldn't I? Son, I don't want you to think I forgot you.
Stop! You see how suspicious people are? Dad does something nice, and right away Maynard's sure something's wrong. Ask him his social security number. Boy, what a contemptible trick.
Well, there she is, boy.
For me? For us?
Yes, sir. She's all yours, son.
Dad, what's your social security number? All right. So Dad gave Mom a mink coat and me a convertible. What's so strange about that? I find it perfectly natural. I don't have any questions except one little one. Why?
You want to know why? I'll tell you why. I finally took a look at myself, a good look, and I did not like what I saw.
Me neither, no offense.
No offense and butt out. Do you know what I have become? Well, I will tell you what I have become.
Mean and rotten.
Maynard, if you... No, Maynard is right. I have become a mean and rotten slave to the almighty dollar. Why, I've put in so much time in the business here, I haven't had any time to spend with my family. I haven't had any time to live a little.
That ain't so, Mr. G. If you take care of yourself, you got 4 or 5 more years, if you're lucky.
But we know that you love us, dear, but we can't afford these things. Between the car and the mink, you must have spent $4,000 or $5,000.
$5,724.68 to be exact, but who's counting and stop worrying? It's all paid for, practically.
But where did you get the... Herbert, you sold the store.
Practically. There's a big executive from a supermarket chain coming this afternoon to cinch the deal. Winnie, this store represents 25 years of experience and shrewd management. Now, what is that worth? Let's be conservative. Let's be ridiculously conservative. Say, $1,000 a year times 25 years. Why, that's $25,000 plus $10,000 for the population explosion, improvement to the neighborhood, the cost of living index. Why, this store's worth $35,000 at the minimum.
Golly, Dad, this is a nice little store, but $35,000, that's an awful lot of money.
You'll understand these things later on, boy. Why, just consider our deluxe fixtures. Consider our gourmet-type stock. Consider the personality I've built into this thing. Why, the key to the front door is worth $35,000 alone.
There ain't no key to the front door. There's just that old hook.
This is such a surprise that I don't know what to say. I mean, if you sell, where will we go? What will we do?
I'll tell you, little lady, where we will go and what we will do. We will take a couple of years off and we will spend all of this money. We'll make the grand tour. New York, London, Paris, Rome, the Riviera.
But the money won't last forever.
Let me finish. Now, when the money starts dwindling down to, say, 5 or 4 digits, and of course that'll take years, we'll come home and I'll waltz in and get a job managing some big supermarket.
And you'll have a regular check, and you'll come home for supper at 6, and you'll wear a suit. Oh, Dobie, do you remember what he looked like in a suit?
No.
Oh, all right, I'll buy a suit. I'll buy 3 suits. Now, come on, Dobe, hop in here and rev this thing up. You folks got a lot of shopping to do yet this afternoon.
Hi, Herbie, baby. Hey, where's your apron?
Look, Hogan, I got a very important business appointment and no time to jaw with you.
Hey, Herb, you know that check I gave you to hold till next month?
How can I forget it?
Would you hold it for me till the month after next? I mean, I hate to ask.
You hate to ask. You've been hating but overcoming it for 20 years.
You'll do it, huh?
Okay, now beat it, will you, and stop bugging me.
Herbert T. Gillis, you're a great American and one heck of a grand guy.
Hi, Mr. Gillis.
Oh.
So where's your apron?
Mrs. Tarantino, I'm a busy man. I got no time for small talk.
You got no time. Look at me. My husband's brothers are coming to dinner. All 12 of them with their wives, so now
So you gotta run off someplace and get your nails done or something, and in the meantime you want me to pick the food for your hungry relatives and have it to the house by 6 o'clock. Well, my answer to...
No, you better make that 5 o'clock. Those overstuffed chowhounds are a cinch to show up early. Thanks, Mr. Gillis. You're a doll.
My name is Sam Gummidge. I'm with Mammoth Markets Incorporated. I'm looking for Gillis.
Oh, well, you were looking at Gillis.
Gillis?
Oh, Herbert T.
So where's your apron?
Well, I'm sort of on the executive level around here. Management, you might say.
Uh-huh.
I think my letter spelled the deal out pretty clearly. She's a little beauty, no mortgage, no credit backlog, free, clear, and ready to go.
I know. We checked you out in the book.
Now, look, Gummidge, we are both high-class businessmen, so there's no sense in our fencing or haggling. You can see she's a buy at $40,000, but I like your looks. I like the cut of your jib. So for this afternoon only, and to you only, $35,000 takes her away.
Pickle tripe. I haven't seen that in years.
Oh, well, I carry it for my Deluxe Gourmet type customers. Naturally, the neighborhood's loaded with them.
Naturally, and I guess it's true for this Dice sow belly?
Oh, naturally.
Naturally. Now, Mr. Gillis, if I could take a look at your accounting system.
Oh, she's out shopping.
What?
Oh, the little woman. She takes care of the books and handles all the high-type financial transaction. Oh, a mighty efficient woman. Mighty attractive, too. Sure.
Naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I have all the pertinent data. You've got a fair location here.
Oh, right smack dab in the heart of the population explosion. This is 100% A number 1 territory. Just make the check out to Herbert T. Gillis. Be sure to put the T in. That's the way they know me down at the bank.
$6,000.
Down payment.
Full price.
$1,000 for this elegant establishment? Why, that's a cotton-picking, carpet-bagging outrage. What about these deluxe fixtures? What about this exclusive stock? What about this blue ribbon neighborhood? What about my 25 years of goodwill?
Gillis, you forced me to be frank. This stock is pathetic. The fixtures are obsolete. The neighborhood is 2 steps above a slum. And I've never known goodwill to pay the bill on the 1st of the month. I'm sorry. Now, here's my card. I advise you to think over my offer calmly. Good day.
It's $6,000. It's an outrage, and yours truly, Herbert T. Gillis, ain't gonna take it. Ain't? $3,200 for the convertible, $2,300 for the first, plus tax, plus 68 cents for Maynard's bubble bath. Maynard's bubble bath. How does he always gets mixed up in this family?
Oh, Dobie, dear, you're too extravagant. We're not actually millionaires, you know.
Well,
Winnie.
we're not worth quite $1 million, Mom, but you don't have to go around telling everybody.
Son.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Oh, hello, dear.
Yeah, hi, hello, how have you been? And simmer down. Look, Just because we've got all this money don't mean that we couldn't be a little conservative.
Well, of course, dear.
Sure, Dad. Now, excuse me. I want to go out to the car and bring in the other packages.
Yeah, you know, we don't want to act like these nouveau riches type.
Like
and
gangway,
go
like
our
beep,
money
beep.
all over the place. I was thinking, Winnie, that, you know, we shouldn't embarrass the neighbors by spending it all at once. Maybe we ought to kind of like taper off, change our
Like
way of
gangway,
life
like
gradual,
beep,
like
beep.
this. Let's not spend it all in one place just for appearance's sake, you know, and then I could go out and get a job managing some supermarket.
A job? Why, Herbert?
Oh, just to pass the time. A job will help me taper off, you know.
Job? Did you say job, Dad? Why?
Well, to keep busy. Why else would I want a job?
A job, Mr. G, how come?
To stay out of the poorhouse. Oh, no, what I mean is, you can't just turn an old fire horse like me out to pasture just like that, you know. I gotta get back to civilian life by easy stages.
Well, yes, dear. I suppose you would feel better that way. But, dear, where are you going to get this job?
Well, it's not a job exactly. It's more like a position.
Well, where are you going to get this position?
Well, do you remember Fred C. Dobbs, my good buddy down at the Bison Lodge?
Of course.
And do you remember his son, Fred C. Dobbs, Jr.?
Yes, a darling little boy. Always used to run around hugging that big teddy bear.
Winnie, I got news for you. Today, Fred C. Dobbs, Jr. just happens to be the general personnel director of the biggest supermarket chain in the state. And I know he's going to be very happy to give yours truly, Herbert T. Gillis, that he used to call Uncle Herbie, an executive type position that I am capable of filling.
Yes, Gladys? Gillis? Herbert T? No kidding. Well, sure, I'm right in.
Oh, Fred C. Dobbs, Jr. Long time no see. How have you been, son?
It's great to see you, Mr.
Oh,
Gillis.
it just seems like yesterday that you were scooting around in short pants and hugging that great big old teddy bear.
Well, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, your dad always used to say he figured you probably wouldn't get rid of it till you were a sophomore in high school.
He's a great kidder,
But
Dad.
you've done okay, boy. It's a pretty nice office you got for yourself here, huh?
Mr. Gillis.
Herbie, remember Uncle Herbie?
Yeah, Uncle Herbie. It's wonderful of you to drop by like this, but I'm pretty rushed today.
Oh, I know how it is with us busy executives, so I'll come right to the point, Junior. I mean, Fred. I've been thinking it over, and I finally decided to give you a break.
A break?
Yes, sir. I've been kicking it around in my head quite a while now, and I'm going to take over one of those manager jobs with Swift Thrift Markets Incorporated.
You what?
Yeah, oh, I've been thinking about it quite a while now, and I've decided I'm ready. I can take over the first thing tomorrow.
Mr. Gillis.
Herbie, Uncle Herbie.
Uncle Herbie. Well, you've got a story of your own. Why do you want to go to work for us?
I've proved myself for 25 years. I've got experience, reputation, all the money I need. What I want now is less headaches. You know, a job where savvy pays off, where I can take life a little easier, spend a little more time with my family.
Mr. Gillis, Uncle Herbie, I think you ought to think this over very carefully before you decide to make it.
Believe me, I have. You just tell me when and where, and I'll be there bright and early in the morning.
Uncle Herbie, I'm afraid I can't.
Oh, you gotta decide which store needs my talents the most.
Actually, we just don't have a spot for you.
Oh, you gotta be kidding. Why, I know everything there is to know about food. I've been buying and selling it my whole life.
I know you're one of the pioneers of the grocery industry in this part of town, but, you see, our operation's a little different.
Different? It's the food game, ain't it?
Well, yes, but we're an organization of marketing scientists. Display designers, motivation researchers.
Motivation research. So you spend $1 million making a survey just to prove that everybody in the dad blame country gets hungry 3 times a day.
Well, I'm afraid you're oversimplifying.
Then I've been oversimplifying for 25 years. Look, I know food. I know it from top to bottom. And you need experts? Okay, I'm not one to argue with progress, but you still need guys to show them types how to move the merchandise. You need store managers, and that's where I come in, see? Because believe me,
Oh, look at me. Look at me telling the boss. You know, it's hard to remember how fast you kids grow up. But you still need store managers.
Oh, our managers must be experts in all areas.
Look,
you just don't fit into our operation.
Look, I don't mean to rush in here and take over. How about assistant manager? Assistant to the assistant? Oh, well, who's proud? I'm just killing time anyway. I'll be a checker.
No, sir.
Clerk?
Hello.
Stock boy?
No, I'm very sorry. Look. Now, how old are you, Uncle Herbie? 55?
47.
Well, I can't start a man at your age. I'd love to, but I simply can't. Company policy. Look, neighborhood stores are a vital part of the food industry. Go back to it. It's something you know, something you're an expert at. A place where you belong. Don't hurt yourself by trying to start a new career at your age.
Well, thanks for your time, Junior.
Uncle Herbie, look, believe me, there's nothing I'd rather do than help you out when you need it. But
Who needs it? I was just trying to give you a break. Just trying to give you a jump on the competition. Just remember, you had your chance and you blew it.
Hi, Francie, Dobbs Jr., how good to see you.
hello, Mrs. Gillis. Aunt Winnie. Hi, Junior.
How are you?
Fine, how are you? Is Mr. Gillis around? I mean, Uncle Herbie.
No, dear. He just telephoned he'll be home in about an hour or so. My, how time flies. Why, it seems like only last week that you were running around in short pants hugging that great big teddy bear.
Yes, well, that's been quite a while ago.
Oh, my, how you used to love that bear. Why, your daddy used to say that you wouldn't let go of it until you were a senior in high school.
Sophomore. Aunt Winnie, I'm worried.
Oh, dear, don't let it worry you. Why, it's perfectly natural for children to love their toys.
Oh, no. I mean that Uncle Herbie came to my office today and begged me for a job, any job.
Oh, that. Well, Herbie just wants a job to keep busy.
Well, I don't get it.
Didn't he tell you? Why, he sold the store. He had a good offer.
$35,000. Not bad, huh? From now on, he's going to take life easy. Just have fun.
Oh, well, now, hold on a minute. You say $35,000?
Well, of course, it's worth a lot more, but you know Herbert, he hates to haggle.
Well, who's buying it?
It was Gummidge who made the offer.
Gummidge, from Mammoth Stores? Oh, well, something's very, very wrong around here. Don't misunderstand me. It's a very nice little place. It's worth $5,000 or $6,000 anyway, but $35,000.
Really, Junior? If my husband says...
Oh, hello. Mr. Gummidge, please. Oh, hello, Horace. This is Fred C. Dobbs, Jr. I'm calling as an old friend of Herbert T. Gillis. I understand you made an offer to buy his store. Uh-huh. Oh, I see. 6,000. Well, okay, Horace. What? Oh, no, Mr. Gillis is a nice enough fellow. Oh, well, I'm sure he was just on edge when you talked to him. Oh, okay, but I'll see you around, Horace. And Winnie, Dobie, I just don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. We heard.
I don't know what's going on around here or what's wrong with Uncle Herbie, but if I can do anything to help...
Thanks, Junior. I think we'd better handle this ourselves.
Oh, gee, I just feel awful about this. Well, now, you just call me if there's anything I can do.
Yeah, Thank you, Junior. Thank you. We'll take care of it. Thanks very much.
Dobie, you know who's responsible for this, don't you?
Give me 3 guesses. I don't want my name to come up right away.
It's our fault. It's not your father's.
I know.
We drove him to it. We made him feel that he had to keep us in mink and cars and fancy clothes just to earn our respect.
I'll admit I've done a lot of respecting behind the wheel of this car.
And Dobie, dear, you know what we have to do now, don't you? And gladly.
You bet I do. We've got to take all these things back to where we bought them. The presents, the clothes, my beautiful new
Yes, dear.
Gladly.
Glad. What's the use kidding? Taking the presents and the car back to the store was unpleasant. Well, maybe not really unpleasant. I think the word for it is murder, but it was worth it. I mean, just look at what a sweet, wonderful guy my dad really is.
Winnie! Dobie! What's going on around here? A man leaves the place for an hour and the whole joint falls apart.
You hold it. Hold it. The wrong film again. Well, you can't blame Dad for being in a low mood. Getting turned down for a job like that's enough to make anybody feel beat and miserable and useless.
You rang?
Oh, hello, Maynard.
Like, hi, Mr. G. You seen Dobe around?
Huh?
Dobe, your son. You remember him, kind of medium tall with brown hair?
Maynard.
No, I'm Maynard. Dobe's your son. You remember him.
I know you're Maynard. I remember him, the international playboy.
That's the fellow.
Yeah, I think he's upstairs.
No, he isn't, Dad. He's right here.
And so is the international playgirl.
Oh, bonjour, mes amis. And what are you international play people doing here while the smart shops are still open, huh?
Drop the act, huh, Dad?
Drop the act? What act? What are you talking about?
Dear, we know the truth. We talked to Junior Dobbs.
And he told us about Mr. Gummidge and the $6,000 offer for the store.
Junior Dobbs, Gummidge, six, well, I don't know what you mean. I mean, after all, Winnie, I've been dreaming again. Then I started making things up, and then I start believing in myself. Oh, I'm just no good.
He's got a point.
Maynard.
Dear, don't blame yourself. It was our fault if we hadn't been just so thinking about ourselves all the time.
$6,000, boy, that's a lot different from $35,000.
Yeah, about $400 or $500 different.
So the convertible's back on the showroom floor.
And the mink is back at the store, and so are all the other clothes.
Sorry I can't return the bubble bath, but it's all used up. It was delicious.
Look, I want you people to have those things.
Dear, those things are not important.
So we'll lose a few bucks in deposits.
No, I don't deserve a warm, loyal-hearted family like you.
Sure you do, Dad.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, he don't.
Yes, I do, and never mind.
You're a fine man, Herbert. And we love you even if you're not a millionaire.
That's a wonderful sight to behold, isn't it? Dad and his family back together again, and happy. But there was still something missing. Dad felt that his lifetime of work in the store added up to a great big nothing, until the customers proved he was wrong.
Mr. Gillis, do you expect me to go running around doing my own shopping, raising my kids, planning menus, and feeding all that company without you helping? You get on that phone right now and call my husband and tell him how much you need. I've already got him brainwashed.
Herb, we can't now start lugging our own groceries and shopping weekdays in regular hours, and especially paying cash.
You've got obligations to us, Mr. Gillis, and to everybody else in this neighborhood. You're not some stranger who can just open and close the store whenever he pleases or go out of business just because he feels like it.
Herbert T. Gillis, you are our friend, and don't you forget it.
What did I tell you, Dad?
Dobe, when this is all over, you better aim me toward home. I'm getting too misty to travel.
Now, just a minute, just a darn minute. I am a full-grown man and an independent retail merchant. And I will sell out if I want to. And I will open the store or close the store, whatever I feel like. And I feel like keeping it open. Look, this is a business establishment, not a three-ring circus. I got work to do. Come on, out, everybody out. Here we go, that's it. Come back and get me. You take the afternoon off, Dobie. You take as much time off as you want, baby.
Me too?
Oh, no, honey. You know something, Winnie?
What, Herbie?
I am one lucky grocer.
Forasmuch as these two persons have come hither to be made one in this holy estate, if there be anyone present who knows any just cause why they may not be lawfully joined in marriage, let him speak now, or forever hold his peace. Wilt thou take this woman?
Nope, your eyes weren't playing tricks on you. The fella you just saw being led to the ceremony was me, all right. Dobie Gillis, boy groom. Now, I know what you're thinking. So the ceremony got started okay, but naturally something happened to keep it from finishing. Well, that's where you're wrong. Everything went off like clockwork, except one little detail.
I can't find the ring.
Fortunately, I happen to carry a spare wedding ring with me at all times. A single girl can never tell when lightning will strike.
And now the groom will repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
With this ring, I thee wed.
And now, by virtue of the power vested in me, I pronounce you man and wife.
My good buddy marching off to Matrimonialsville. I mean, like, woe is me.
Maynard, how many times do I have to tell you they're not married?
Like a lass and a lack, like a... They're not? It's over so quick? What an age we live in.
Maynard, concentrate. Dobie and Jane just went through what is called a marriage by proxy. Understand?
No.
Look, Jane always wanted a big wedding with her family all around. But Eddie got this job down in South America, so he couldn't be here for the ceremony. So Dobie took his place. Dobie is Eddie's proxy. That's like a substitute. Get it?
They won't be happy.
Why not?
Two fellas marry the same girl? You know that mixed marriages never work out.
Maynard. Gee, dear, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you, darling, and thank you for lending Dobie to me.
Since it involves saying I do, I figured he could use the practice.
Zelda, please.
Oh, excuse me.
You see, Snookums, getting married didn't hurt a bit, so how's about trying it again soon?
I'd love to.
Now you're talking, dollface.
I'm always available for proxy marriages.
Oh, you poor misguided fool. Why do you insist on defying the inevitable? No matter how great the odds, how rugged the barriers, how high the obstacles, sooner or later you are going to be mine. To get you, Snookums, there's nothing I won't do. Nothing I can't do.
Attention, everyone. My boat sails at 5, and I'll expect you all on board to see me off. Now, girls.
Oh, well, she can do anything. I'm doomed. Doomed. Spooky, wasn't it? But you saw for yourself what she can do. 5 feet tall and 101 pounds at the outside. But if she was playing football against the Chicago Bears, I'd take Zelda and give you 10 points. I mean, she can do anything. So when we got to that bon voyage party at the boat, I watched her like a hawk.
All visitors ashore, please. The ship sails in 15 minutes. All visitors ashore.
Bye, Jane. Good luck.
Bye.
Best of luck, Jane. Pleasant voyage. Regards, Daddy. Don't forget to write.
Bye.
Come on, Maynard.
Wait a minute, I haven't said goodbye to Jane yet.
We'll wait for you on deck.
Bye. Bye.
You can't get away. My brain is too powerful.
Maynard, I'm worried. I mean worried. Zelda's made up her mind to marry me. When she gets an idea in her head, there's no stopping her.
Poor Dobe.
She'll keep after me and pester me and outmaneuver me and brainwash me until I finally run out of strength and say yes.
Poor Dobe.
Someday I might want to get married. Maybe even to Zelda.
Poor
Not
Dobe.
yet. I'm not ready for marriage.
Poor Dobe.
Maynard, can't you say something besides poor Dobe?
Poor Walter Funk. Okay, poor Maynard.
Nah, why do we even bother to fight it? I'm doomed. As long as Zelda's around, I haven't got a... Hey, that's it. What if Zelda wasn't around?
Yeah, good thinking. Did I ever tell you about my idea to toss it to the sharks?
I mean, she'd be around, but I wouldn't.
We toss you to the sharks?
Listen, what would happen if I went away for a few months? Zelda'd get tired waiting for me, and she'd set her traps for some other poor schnook. And by the time I got back, she'd have hooked him, and she'd be safely married, and I'd be free. Smart, huh?
The sharks would be juicier.
The only question is, where in this world can I go to get away from her? Where?
Don't look at me. I flunked geography 4 times out of 3.
You didn't do too good in arithmetic either.
The ship sails in 10 minutes. All visitors ashore, please. All visitors ashore.
Of course. Right here. I'll stow away. When the ship sails, Zelda gets off and heads for home, and I stay on and head for South America.
You think we'll like it down there in Hot Tamalisville?
We? Oh, no, Maynard, no. I mean, I appreciate your loyalty, but you've got no reason to stow away.
Oh, no? Who's going to take care of you when you get seasick?
Hey, Maynard,
Who's going to bring you pills when you get seasick?
Look.
Who's going to hold your head when you get seasick?
All right, Maynard, if that's what you want to do.
It sure is good, buddy. And you got to promise me one thing.
What?
Please don't get seasick.
You know, I've got to admit I'm proud of myself. After all these years of struggling, I'll finally be able to look myself in the eye and say, goodbye, Zelda.
Goodbye, Dobie.
Goodbye, Dobie. Zelda, what kind of defeatist talk is that?
Oh, I'm tired of beating my head against the wall. Sure, I put on a big act like I got him all ready to propose, but I haven't.
Do you?
And I never will. Dobie's gonna stay a bachelor all his life, or else some other girl's gonna come along and grab him. He'll never be Mr. Zelda Gilroy.
Oh, listen, honey.
Oh, Jean, seeing you actually get married made me realize I've been chasing after nothing but a wild, wonderful, impossible dream. In the dream, I even know how he'd propose. He'd get down on one knee, naturally, and he'd say,
Zelda, my dear, I shall love you with every fiber of my being for as long as I live. Will you be my wife?
Zelda! Then his kooky friend Maynard would charge in and say,
Like marry her? Good buddy, you got to be Joshua.
my Dobie would remain loyal, steadfast, and true, and he'd say,
Yes, Maynard, I shall marry Zelda because she is truth and beauty and poetry.
Zelda, how did you imitate their voices so perfectly?
Oh, I saw this coupon in the back of a magazine. Throw your voice for fun and profit. So I sent away for the course. I can copy any voice I hear.
Zelda, you can do anything.
Yeah, except get Dobie. Oh, Jane, if he'd only give himself a chance, I know my sweet, dim-witted lame brain could learn to love me, but how's he gonna find out? It's hopeless.
I know how you feel. For a while there, it looked hopeless for Eddie and me, too.
Yeah, I remember. Then he got that job far away in South America, and he began to realize how lonely he was. And 3 weeks later, you got a cablegram saying, Darling, I love you, I miss you, please marry me, cable answer immediately, collective necessary. Jane, my problem is solved. I simply put a provocative amount of distance between me and Dobie and give him time to realize how deliciously vital I am to him, and voila, here comes the bride.
But how can you do that? Eddie went to South America. Dobie's still in school. He isn't going anyplace.
True, but I am to South America with you in this cabin. But poor Dobie. He'll be miserable. No, he'll suffer. Isn't it wonderful? But what arguing, girl? Let's go find the captain and introduce him to his charming new passenger.
And after the captain catches us, he puts chains on us and drags us down to the cellar and makes us row the boat with them big long oars.
Maynard, they haven't done that since Ben-Hur.
He'll make us gallery slaves.
Maynard, please. We just hide in this lifeboat until we're too far out at sea for him to turn around and bring us back. And then we come out and present ourselves to the captain and volunteer to do absolutely anything to pay for our passage. Any kind of hard, grueling work.
Work!
It's the only way we can make up for what we've done. Besides, it's better than getting married, isn't it?
What ain't good, buddy? What ain't?
Yeah, I've got to hurry up and write a note to my folks and tell them what we're doing. It's vacation anyhow, so they won't mind. I'm going to tell them to call your folks, too, and explain everything. Your father won't object, will he?
Oh, no. He likes for me to travel. I have a standing offer. He'll pay my transportation to any place in the world I want to go.
Yeah, good.
One way.
Last call. The ship sails in 5 minutes. All ashore. Last call. All visitors ashore at once.
Well, Latin gentlemen are world famous for their concern with matters of the heart. Is it not so?
Caramba, yes. We live for the matters of the heart.
Then Captain Lopez will certainly understand why I beg him to allow me to sail on this ship. I've been forsaken by my fiancé. My heart is sick with sorrow. I must sail away, far away, to forget.
Why did you not say so at once? Of course you may sail with our little one. When it comes to love, regulations, bah.
Bless you, sir.
A sea voyage will mend you rapidly. And who knows, perhaps you will find a new love.
On this boat?
It is true we are mainly a cargo ship, but there are 2 other passengers, both bachelors.
I don't think I'm quite ready for other men yet, Captain.
Ah, the Englishman, very rich.
I'm beholden to you, but no thanks.
And the Italian, very handsome.
Sounds fascinating, but I pass.
We shall see, my child. With a heart no one can tell when love will enter and sweep all before it. And when it does, remember, Lopez is available.
Available?
Available?
Available. The broken-hearted little one can be married at sea. Lopez will perform the ceremony. He is available.
I should only find a groom so available.
To marry a loving couple is my fondest dream. 20 years I've waited, and I'm always on cargo ships. I fought hurricanes and dodged submarines and salvaged shipwrecks.
But never a wedding?
Not even a rehearsal.
I'll see what I can do.
Not even an engagement.
I'll look around.
Not even a rehearsal for an engagement.
I'll give it my all.
Ah, will you, señorita? Gracias. And now Lopez insists that you sail with us. He will arrange everything.
Thank you, Captain Lopez.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here today to join this man and this woman. Good, eh? I've been rehearsing for a very long distance. This woman...
Here's the location of our ship, somewhere at sea, but not half as much as I was. I mean, I, poor trusting fool, thought I was safe and secure and Zelda-less.
Well, I just sent off a radiogram to my folks. Great. In no time at all, Dobie will know I am far, far away, and then watch him start to miss me. Boy.
Now, all you have to do is wait and be patient.
Right. And when it comes to being patient, I am a rock. Jane?
Yes, dear.
It's been quite a while since I sent that radiogram, so how come I haven't heard from him?
Zelda.
I'm hungry, Dobe.
Maynard, calm down. You'll just have to live on the emergency rations we found in the lifeboat.
I'll never make it. All I've had to eat is 10 boxes of crackers, a package of dried beef, 20 or 30 chocolate bars, and a gallon of powdered milk.
Maynard, scientifically, that's enough to get you through 2 full weeks.
2 full weeks? I ate that in the last 10 minutes.
Ah, señorita. Another lovely day, is it not?
Yeah, I guess so. Any messages for me, Captain Lopez?
Ah, yes. The young English passenger would love to meet you. And the young Italian.
No, I meant like messages from home. Like a radiogram.
Alas, no.
Golly, it's been 3 days now. Do you think maybe the delivery boy's rowboat broke down or something?
Señorita, I'm the last man in the world to throw a wet blanket on romance. It seems clear that you and your boyfriend is terminado. Poof. Take my advice and forget him.
I can't.
Of course you can. I suggest a shipboard romance. Very stimulating.
I imagine.
And if it should blossom into the real thing...
I know.
Lopez is available.
I figured.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in the bonds of holy matrimony.
By the time you receive this letter, I will be many, many miles away. I have taken this drastic step and run away because
Try chicken?
Because I'm
Try yellow-bellied?
Here, this is serious. I have to write Zelda a letter that'll convince her that she'd better forget about me and latch onto some other...
Sucker.
Maynard, please. I'll try again. Dear Zelda.
Yes, Dobie?
So far, I don't like it.
Dear Zelda, please believe me when I tell you that I wish you all possible happiness, namely a husband. And please be quick about it. Please try to understand, Zelda, old friend, that taking this trip is the wisest thing for both of us. So, goodbye forever. Your pal, Dobie. Here's where we are. Latitude 20 degrees north, longitude 66 degrees west. And here I am, with an uninformed latitude and a blissfully ignorant longitude. And I was all set to be torpedoed.
Captain Lopez, I'm so happy to find you in.
Ah, señorita, it is always a pleasure to see you.
I've changed my mind. Bring on your Englishman.
Ha-ha!
And your Italian.
Oh?
And I'll be on the foredeck before you in 20 minutes with the properly fascinating wardrobe.
Señorita, I shall arrange everything. And remember, if romance should blossom...
I know.
Lopez is available.
And he's been living in that lifeboat all this time? That's amazing.
With Maynard.
That's unbelievable.
Hurry up, please, Jane. That English fellow's meeting me up on deck.
Just a minute. This dress of mine fits a little tight on you.
The tighter, the better. I want to make sure Dobie hears some sweet talk that'll really wake him up. So then the elephant said, "In my trunk, doesn't everyone?"
Very funny, very.
Oh, I have many, many more juicy tidbits like that for you, Derek, my dear. Have you heard the one about the red-hot coal?
Can't say that I have.
You wouldn't grasp it. Derek, don't you think that's an amusing joke?
Henry, wake up. I must be having a nightmare.
This time of day must be a morning there.
I
thought I heard
Oh, and I have lots more like that for
You're
you.
right,
Here,
that's
let
a
me try
nightmare.
this one.
What say we nip inside for a spot of tea, eh? What, Miss Gilroy?
Oh, Derek, darling, please call me Zelda.
Oh, very well. Zelda?
Oh, Derek, Dumpling, you say the sweetest things.
Now, look here, old girl. All I said...
Oh, no, please, my dearest, don't say it again. You'll turn my pretty head.
Now, see here.
Ooh, who said you Englishmen are cool and reserved? Come, my tiger, let us go below and cool our smoldering passions with boiling tea.
Maynard, it's fate, it's kismet, it's destiny.
It's Zelda.
Doomed. Why is this happening to me?
Are you living?
So then the elephant said, that's Elefante, Gino. In my trunk, doesn't everyone?
Funny, very funny.
Oh, I have many, many more juicy pizzas like that for you, Gino Mon Amore. Have you heard the one about the red-hot coal? That's carbone.
No, Signorina, no.
You wouldn't grasp it.
Very amusing.
Oh, Gino, how romantic you are.
See?
See?
All I said is see, Signorina.
It wasn't so much what you said as the way you said it. Oh, you romantic Italian lovers.
Old Zelda's making a lot of new friends, huh?
Yeah.
That's like good, huh?
You bet. Now she won't be moping around after I'm gone.
Like true.
Wondering if I'll ever come back. Sitting there broken-hearted, whispering my name.
Like true.
In fact, I wonder if she'll remember my name.
All right. So now Dobie thinks you're attractive to other men. So he gets jealous.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful?
But not jealous enough to climb out of that lifeboat and propose.
Yeah, isn't that awful?
And he never will unless he thinks you're all set to marry one of those other fellows.
True, and they're hardly flipping for me, are they?
No offense, but hardly. Well, where do we go from here, smart apple?
In for the kill.
What do you mean?
I mean...
My dear, would you do me the honor to become my little comfort for life?
Derek, you rascal, you shouldn't have done that.
Ah, yes, my sweet, but I couldn't resist. You are so lovely, so charming, so utterly irresistible. Again, I couldn't resist. Forgive me, Zelda. You bring out the animal in me. You must marry me at once.
But Derek, we've only just met.
What does time matter when our two hearts beat as one?
Hey, Dobe, you're in Freedomsville. She hooked a sucker.
Boy. Zelda, my adorable mutton chop. I have a castle in Wales, a townhouse in London, and a hunting lodge in Scotland. Marry me, and they are yours.
Oh, Derek, you make me feel very proud. But I cannot marry you, for I love another.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. My heart belongs to a boy named Dobie Gillis.
Dobie Gillis?
That's Dobie with a B.
Derek, he's not really very much. In fact, he's kind of a 10-thumbed idiot. But I love him, and he's what I want.
So be it, my little partridge. But I shall never forget you. Never.
Farewell, Derek.
Cheerio.
Gee, I'm getting all misty. Yeah. Pass up a castle and a hunting lodge.
Yeah, don't forget the townhouse.
Yeah, and all for a fella she's not even gonna get.
Yeah, poor kid.
Gino!
Man, for a small boat, they're sure a mess of action.
You're my small white dove.
Oh, Gino, you're so strong. You're crushing me.
Zelda, mia cara, I worship you.
Oh, Gino!
Marry me, and you will have wealth, luxury, everything your little heart could desire.
Oh, Gino!
You will have furs, jewels, servants.
Oh, Gino!
Your boudoir will be carpeted with ermine, wall to wall.
No, Gino, no. It cannot be. My heart is already given.
Oh, no.
Oh, see. His name is Dobie Gillis.
Dobie Gillis?
That's Dobie with a B.
He'll never give me servants and jewels, Gino, or ermine wall to wall. He's just kind of sweet and dumb and helpless, and That's why he needs me, and I need him.
Maynard, don't talk to me, you low-down rat.
Zelda, you are a great woman with a beautiful soul. I will not be robbed of such a treasure by this Dobie Gillis person.
Oh, Gino, I want to say yes. I'm trying to say yes. Oh, Gino, if only I could say yes.
Don't say it, Zelda. Don't, Mary. Don't. Zelda, it's me.
Dobie, Maynard, what are you doing here?
That's not important now. Oh, Zelda, I've been such a fool.
Where's Gino?
You were saying, Snookums?
I heard those two fellas proposing to you, Zelda, and you're right. I'm nobody very much, but, well, if you still want me, I'm yours.
Where's Gino?
Dobie.
I mean it, Zelda. Marry me, please.
Where's Gino?
Okay, when?
Tonight, tomorrow, anytime. The second we can find someone to marry us.
Lopez is available.
Where's Gino?
Ah, the young lovers. At last, the moment I've been waiting for. My debut.
Hey, where's Gino?
Mark this spot well. No, it's not where the Titanic hit an iceberg. But what did happen here was an awful big tragedy, too.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man and this woman in the bonds of holy matrimony. What is
Dobie, are
marching?
you sure you want to go through with this?
Of course.
You can still back out.
No, I want to marry you.
Honest?
Honest. Gee, when I think of all those things you gave up for me, castles and crumpets and wall-to-wall ermine carpets.
Dobie, will thou take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife, to heaven to hold, and sickness and health, for better or for worse, till death do you part?
I will.
Zelda, will thou take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to heaven to hold, and sickness and health, for better or for worse, till death do you part?
No.
Zelda?
I knew it was too good to last. Oh, que lástima.
Zelda? Zelda, what's wrong?
I can't do it to you, Dobie. I can't marry you this way.
But I want you to marry me. I asked you.
I tricked you into it.
No, Zelda, I heard those two rich fellas proposing to you.
No, you didn't, Dobie. You heard me by the lifeboat, imitating their voices.
Zelda, mia cara, will you be my little pizza for life?
My castle in Wales, my townhouse in London, my hunting lodge in Scotland. Marry me and they are yours.
See, Dobie? But I only did it because I wanted to marry you more than anything else in the world. And I still do.
Zelda.
But not until you want to marry me. Really want to marry me. Dobie, do you hate me?
Well,
It was a rotten trick.
true, but clever. And if a girl cares that much about a fella, well...
You mean maybe, somehow, someday there might still be a chance for this fella and this girl?
Why not? There's certainly nothing wrong with this girl. It's just that this fella isn't ready yet to be a husband, but someday he will be.
This girl will wait, Dobie, till that day comes.
And when it does, remember, Lopez is available.
Maynard, stop griping. A little deck scrubbing's a small price to pay for a free round trip to South America.
You didn't tell me I'd have to work.
Work, Maynard. This way we'll arrive back home seaworthy, suntanned, and single.
Yeah, Dobe. You're the undisputed champion when it comes to dodging that holy deadlock.
Yeah, that's wedlock. But you know something, Maynard? I'm not sure I want to keep dodging it.
Like, no.
Like, yes. This is just between us, but I'm about ready to surrender without anybody playing a trick on me. I mean, a girl like Zelda comes along once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but what's best of all, good buddy, she loves you. And she always will. And she's loyal and honest and true. And how are you going to beat a combination like that?
Maynard, how come you're all of a sudden such a strong Zelda? All right, Zelda. Well, what'd you do with me? forgive me, Stephanie, my sweet. I just couldn't help it. Something happened that was one of those impossible, ridiculous, unbelievable freaks of nature.
You rang?
Oh, hi, Maynard.
Like hi, Dobe, like hi, girl, like thanks for inviting me to hack around with you tonight. You're all hard from foot to toe.
Dobie, your sudden change in plans. Do I understand we have Maynard to thank for that?
Oh, you don't have to bother thanking me. It was like a pleasure.
Yeah, I just didn't have the heart to leave him by himself. He gets lonesome.
Dobie, 3 on a date is ridiculous.
Like right. So if you want to go home, it's okay with us.
Yeah, Maynard.
Wait a minute, I just had a good idea. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll find a girl to be Maynard's date and... Oh, I just realized why I didn't think of it before.
Good thinking. I wouldn't be caught alive with a chick. They scare me something fierce, not to mention vice versa. Come on, Gilbert, let's go downtown and watch them knock down the old Endicott building.
Maynard.
They got the big crane with the big iron ball at the end. The guy goes,
look, Maynard. Stephanie, I'm sorry. This whole thing was just one of those impossible, ridiculous, unbelievable freaks of nature.
You rang? Hey, you guys know where's the old Endicott building? I hear they're knocking it down with one of them big iron balls on a chain, and I ain't gonna miss that. It goes...
Hey, you dig knocking down old buildings?
Man, it's a gas. I watch it all the time. Over near where I lived, I had this old warehouse, see?
No, it don't go like... It goes like this.
Name the most exciting day in a fella's life. The day he puts on his first pair of long pants. The day he hits his first home run. Sure, those are exciting days, but they don't come anywhere near the day he meets the only girl. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I know, it's happened to me many times. And now it looked like it was finally happening to Maynard. He would soon be hearing for the first time the sweet, tender, womanly words that every man longs to hear.
What else I like to do is climb over the fence of the stockyards and watch them dip sheep. Brother, that's living.
Ooh, yeah, I can watch them do that 8, 9, 10 days a week. And sometimes I do.
You know what else I like to do?
No, clue me.
Go over to the railroad station and stand around when the coal cars is getting loaded up. That's the maddest.
Oh, yeah, genuine Joysville.
Dobie, what are they talking about?
I can't understand a word. It must be love.
What else I like to do is watch them run cars up a grease rack. Push one little button and up she goes.
Oh, yeah, crazy. I could watch them do that 10, 12 days a week.
Me too. Only they don't like girls hanging around garages.
Well, what's that got to do with it?
I'm like a girl.
Oh, yeah, you are kind of like a girl. But not much.
Hey, you mad because I'm a girl?
Nah, 'cause you ain't really a girl. I mean, anybody who digs dipping sheep and knocking down old buildings, that ain't like a girl. That's like a real human being.
Attaboy, excuse me, old bean. My name's Eddie Cagle. Pleased to meet you, your beard chip.
Likewise. My name is Maynard G. Krebs. Your friendship.
What's the G stand for?
Walter.
Good name.
I was little named after my aunt.
I used to be Edwina. That's what my folks named me. But I sure changed that in a hurry. I mean, like, who needs that noise?
Hey, we better cut out quick. We're going to miss knocking down the old Endicott building. The way that old ball's been swinging all day, there's going to be hardly any building left to knock down.
Hey, Maynard, I've got a great idea. Let's make this a double date.
Who's this type?
I'm Maynard's best friend, Dobie Gillis, and this is Stephanie Trowbridge.
Hi there. Hi. Come on, Maynard, let's cut out. Dobie, that was a wonderful suggestion. Why don't the 4 of us all go dancing at the Peabody Roof?
Yeah.
Dancing? Me?
Her?
Oh, come now.
Stephanie, I'm worried.
Why, Dobie? You always said you wanted Maynard to find a soulmate.
True, but somehow I kind of hoped it'd be a girl.
Okay, son, what's the problem?
Well, Dad, Maynard's known this girl for nearly a week now, and all they ever do is stand around watching sheep dips and sewer excavations and like that.
What's wrong with that? You should do more of it. It's nice, healthful outdoor entertainment. It don't cost nothing. It keeps you off the streets. And are you saying what I think you're saying?
I'm afraid so, Dad.
No holding hands in the movies, no moonlight strolls in the park, no romantic soirees?
Not a soir. It pains me to say this, but I honestly believe Maynard thinks of this girl as sort of a short, ponytail boy.
No, my son, and to think I ball you out just because you're a couple of years overdrawn on your allowance. Forgive me, boy.
Sure, Dad, sure. Then you will talk to Maynard, please?
Well,
It's a sin. Somebody's got to talk to him, but why me? Why not his own father?
No, that doesn't work. Every time he has to talk to Maynard face to face, he starts to cry. Have you ever seen a grown man cry? It's spooky.
Where were we?
You were going to talk to Maynard.
Oh, yes. Well, if you want me to talk to him, I will. After all, the boy is basically okay. There's nothing wrong with him that can't be fixed by a blast of dynamite.
Hey, Dobe, guess what? Me and Eddie gonna help load them coal cars.
Eddie?
Dad, it's short for Edwina.
Ooh, that Eddie is a...
Man, we sure have been having kicks together. I mean, skipping stones along the river and shimmying up trees and climbing over fences.
Son, is it too late for me to chicken out?
Dad, if you walk out now, Maynard's whole life might go right down the drain.
You present a powerful temptation.
Dad, you've got to help Maynard.
You, Maynard? Yes, you, Maynard. Maynard, you and me are going to have a little talk, see? And maybe we can learn something, huh?
Sure, what do you want to learn?
Maynard.
President accounted for.
Now, listen, I want to talk to you like your father.
Okay, you better start crying.
Maynard.
He always cries when he talks to me.
Maynard, Maynard, I want you to tell me how you feel about this Eddie. Really feel about her.
Best handball player I ever met.
Son, I just happen to remember a very
Dad,
important
you
errand.
promised.
Okay. Maynard, there are two sexes, remember? Boys and girls.
Yeah, there's probably a place for Eddie in there somewhere.
Now, you remember your Bible story about Noah's Ark?
Oh, yeah, I like Noah. He was a fine, great man helping all them poor animals.
Right. And how did he help them? By putting them in the ark 2 by 2 in pairs.
Like true.
Like true. And the reason we have all these little animals running around today is because Noah put their ancestors in the ark in pairs. Get it? In pairs.
Except the worms. They got on in apples.
So wouldn't it be easier just to turn them loose in some pool room?
Maynard, concentrate.
Boy, you're up. I just struck out.
Look, Dad's trying to help you. We all are.
I know, good buddy, and I appreciate it. Mr. G, you're like a real human being. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, thanks, Maynard. Thanks a lump.
You want me to meet a chick and settle down? Well, I ain't ready yet. It's tough to get married without you find a chick who'll marry you. And I dig chicks absolutely zero or even less.
But why, Maynard? Girls aren't so bad.
Oh, yes, they are, good buddy. Girls are bad because they won't let you be you. You're all the time worrying. Does she like me? Is my hair combed? I mean, am I saying the wrong thing? Is my sneakers polished?
Sure, Maynard. That's how it's supposed to be with a boy and a girl. It's exciting. It's a challenge.
It's a drag. You see, Dobe, with me and Eddie, everything's different. I mean, Eddie's a girl, I think, but with her, I don't have to be scared. She's going to get mad at me if I say or do something wrong she doesn't like, because she never does. I mean, when I'm with Eddie, I can just be me, Maynard G. Krebs. I know that ain't the greatest thing in the world to be, and I suppose a lot of people hate being it. But that's what I'm stuck with the rest of my life, so I figure I might as well be happy with what I got.
Son, I'm scared.
Dad, you don't understand him.
Oh, I understand him. Good. And that's why I'm scared. He might be right.
Look, Maynard, there's a lot in life for a fella and a girl besides watching coal cars and grease racks and climbing fences.
I know that.
Good.
You left out knocking down the old Endicott building, dipping sheep, and
Maynard,
fishing
that's
with a rope.
not what I meant at all. I mean ordinary things fellas and girls your age usually do.
Like what?
Like, here's 2 tickets to the sophomore spring dance Friday night, all paid for. I want you to be there.
Ah, Dobe.
Look, Maynard, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm your friend, your best friend. I don't want to see you going through life with everybody making fun of you because you're an oddball, an eccentric. Sure, it's great to be independent and do as you please, but you're going to be terribly hurt and unhappy if you don't make up your mind that once in a while, even if only in little things, you have to conform.
I was conformed when I was 14 years old. Ain't that enough?
Maynard, that's confirmed. And if you don't take these tickets and make a real effort to get to that dance, then I will assume that you place no value on my advice as a friend.
Oh, no, Dobe, you are my friend, my truest, bluest friend. I would stick my arm into the fire pit here for you. I'd jump off the tallest building for you over Silver Cross Milford Pond for you.
I know all that, Maynard. Just take the tickets.
Okay, Dobe. But at a dance, ain't you supposed to bring a girl?
Right.
Then I can't go because I don't know any girls.
Well, what about Eddie?
No, I don't think she knows any girls either.
Maynard, Eddie is a girl. You could take her to the dance.
Oh, yeah, good buddy. I mean, you sure got it up there. I'm so glad the Russians ain't got your brain.
For the next few days, I didn't see much of Maynard. He and Eddie were caught up in a mad, gay, social world.
Catching fish with a sour pickle, oh boy!
Sure, who needs all that fancy bait and hooks and poles as long as you got a bent pin and a pickle and results?
Hey, if we catch any more fish, let's eat it tomorrow, huh? Tonight I gotta have dinner with my family. They're bugging me on account of I'm away all the time.
Your family? Oh, yeah, them cats that try to stick you with that crummy name.
You think that was bad? My sister, they named... You ready for this? Clarissa.
Oh, man, that is the lowest.
Clarissa. She likes it.
Like, no.
Well, she's the type.
A girl, huh?
The girliest. What I mean, she works at it. Lipstick, perfume, the works.
Sick, huh?
She don't think so. Neither do my folks. They keep trying to get me to act the same way.
Ooh, they're sick.
My father's all the time telling me, Edwina, you're not as pretty as your sister, but if you got all gussied up, you'd maybe look like okay.
You ain't gonna do it, are you?
Are you kidding? Why would I want to look like her? I couldn't do it anyhow. She's good looking, I guess, if you like the type. But why would I even want to try?
Like, right. Eddie, your ace is in my book.
I'll cut out and meet you as soon as dinner's over. What do you want to do later on?
Oh, get this. There's 3 cattle boats coming right down this river from Cleveland. And they're gonna raise the drawbridge to let them through.
Florioski, I never saw him raise a drawbridge.
Kid, you got a big night ahead of you.
I can hardly wait. What are we gonna do until 11?
Well, I figured we'd go downtown and watch them put up the tent poles for the circus.
Hey, yeah, circus.
Yeah, but the tracks got washed out and we'll be here till tomorrow.
The car wash ain't open at night.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Things are kind of slow in town. Hey, maybe we can go to the sophomore spring dance. Dobe gave me these tickets.
Boy, wouldn't that be the wildest? Jokers in ties and dresses flapping around like a gang of penguins. Brother, I'd laugh myself into a stomachache just looking at them.
Yeah, me too. Hey, let's do it. Let's cycle over there and get us a bunch of free yaks.
Like, wow, it'll be just like looking at the animals in the zoo.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, no offense, miss, but we haven't been properly introduced. Eddie, it's you.
What did you expect, Gina Lola Brigida? Now, come on.
Hey, Eddie, you sure do look different.
Oh, my dumb sister made me put on one of her dresses, and my mom got to messing around with my hair. Brother, you never saw such carrying on and excitement in a house in your life as when they heard I was going out with a boy.
They must have spilled something on you, too.
Perfume, I think they call it. Rugged, huh?
I ain't smelled nothing like that since my Uncle Ned's mule kicked over the paint cans in the tool shed.
Hey, let's get a move on. If we show up early, maybe we'll get lucky and see somebody fall in the punch bowl.
Yeah, ooh, yeah.
Ah, Stephanie, my twinkle-toed butterfly, you dance like a dream.
So do you, Dobie.
Truly?
Truly.
Oh, you don't mean that, do you?
No.
My little minx. A sense of humor.
So this is a dance. I always wondered what they were like. Big chunk of nothing, huh?
Like Dragsville, yeah.
Hey, Maynard, dig the hairdo on that chick. Looks like somebody scrambled an egg on her head and forgot to take out the feathers.
Yeah, I ain't never seen so many dressed-up cats in one place except in Callahan's funeral parlor.
Hi, Maynard, Eddie. I'm sure glad you decided to show up.
Eddie, you look beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
can the chatter. Where's the food?
Yes, we are interested in partaking in a bit of ye olde refreshment. How about that for highfalutin talk, huh?
Maynard, you are a doozer.
You two wait here. We'll go bring you some food.
On the double, huh? I don't know how long I can put up with these oblongs. Just look at them.
My dear, you are lovely in your beautiful new Paris gown. A pity you don't have a face to match.
And you are so handsome, my sweet, and you're Walter and wear a tuxedo. Man, this is nowhere.
The lowest.
Good evening. My name is Walter Funk. May I have the honor of this dance?
Okay, Walter.
You, Maynard? Her.
Her? Her who?
I think he means her you.
Correct. Yes? May I have the honor of this dance?
Hey, Maynard, yell quick for the men in the white coats. This creep has slipped his trolley. Get lost, Casper.
Gladly. Boy, what a couple of kooks.
Oh, I think we hurt Walter's feelings. Hey, Walter, we didn't mean no offense, honest.
Okay, let go.
And if it make you feel better, I'll dance with you, Walter. Oh, Eddie, we shouldn't have made him feel so miserable. You better dance with him to prove we're sorry.
Dance with him? Oh, come on.
Tony's liable to cry, and you don't want to see him fog up his glasses, do you?
No, but dance? Oh, come on.
Look, I don't want to dance either. Now, let go.
Look, Walter, it don't pay to be bashful. Now, go ahead. Eddie's a great American, one heck of a swell sport.
Oh, Maynard, I don't even know what to do.
The floor's crowded. Just lean.
Okay, if I have to. Not exactly my idea of heaven, but hey, sirrah, sirrah.
Oh, Maynard, here you are. Where's Eddie?
Oh, she's out there dancing with a fellow named Walter Funk.
What? Oh, that's impossible.
No, it ain't. There's probably a lot of fellas named Walter Funk.
Yeah, there she is, dancing.
You can call it dancing. Ouch. Poor Walter Funk.
Oh, she kicked him in the shins, huh? Eddie's the best shin kicker on the whole block.
Oh, so sorry, Old Crumpet.
You did that on purpose.
You're the one that wanted to dance, Waldo.
Hey, what's that perfume you're wearing? It's nice.
Just some gook my sister slapped over me when I... You liked it?
Yeah, it's different. Sort of fits your personality.
What kind of a dirty crack is that?
It's fresh and peppery.
Look, watch that
A lot of
talk,
bounce and
Sidney,
high
before
spirits.
Fresh? Peppery?
Sure.
High spirits,
Oh,
me?
you're a fiery little tomato full of storm and passion.
Storm, me? Passion,
Look,
me?
I know you're kind. Hard-shelled and tough on the outside, maybe. But inside, a woman.
Walter,
Yes, my tiger?
that dance they're all doing, would you teach it to me?
Would I?
Thank you, Walter.
Now, first of all, you... Hey, I don't even know your name.
It's Edwina. You may call me Edwina.
Edwina. Oh, that's a beautiful name. Just beautiful and perfect for you.
Yes, I've always been rather fond of it myself. Tiger, eh?
Hello, may I cut in?
Now, just a minute, Jerry.
Thanks, Walter. I knew you'd be glad to cooperate. Hello, baby. Where have you been all my life?
Me?
Did anyone ever tell you that you're a...
Fascinating me? Fire and ice me?
You bet, doll. I've had my eye on you ever since you walked in that door.
Oh, Jerry, you say the cutest things.
Mind if I cut in?
Now, wait a minute,
Thanks,
Walter.
Pal, I knew you'd be glad to cooperate. Three's a crowd, you know.
Primitive bundle of ferocious, hot-blooded animals.
And
me?
then some. Edwina, my angel, you are woman.
Oh, Walter, you say the cutest things.
Mind if I cut in?
Now, hold it, friend, hold it. I saw her first.
What's that got to do with it? The Indians saw Plymouth Rock first.
You're looking for trouble.
Oh, now, boys, please don't fight over poor little me. Why don't we all take turns,
Well,
It's the only way. Now, I insist. Or else I'll find some other boys to dance with.
okay, we'll take turns.
Great, that's the way.
I knew you'd see it my way. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Jerry, you're first. And would you believe it? For the rest of the evening, the poodle kept looking around for somebody named Malcolm. Excuse me a minute.
Eddie, it's like late.
Oh, Maynard, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep you waiting.
Yeah, we gotta cut out quick. We're gonna miss seeing that drawbridge going up.
Drawbridge?
Yeah, you know them cattle boats coming in from Cleveland.
Yes.
Like quick.
Maynard, I don't want to watch them raise the drawbridge.
Not watch them raise the drawbridge? No cattle boats from Cleveland? Eddie, you ain't well. I mean, you need help.
Look, Maynard, the kids are all going over to the Peabody roof. They've got a great mambo band, and I said that we go with them.
Us at the Peabody roof? Oh, no, capital N-O-E.
Now,
negative.
don't worry about the money. It's Clara Ronk's birthday, and her father's treating everybody. You'll have a wonderful time. Now, wait here. I'll tell the kids you're coming with us. you see Maynard?
No, I left him right here. I thought you were with him.
Well, I was. I mean,
Do you know where he went?
I have a pretty good idea. Oh, my poor Maynard.
Hey, you down there in the cattle boats. Like, hi. Hello there, Mr. Cow. Hello there, Mrs. Cow. Hey, you came all the way from Cleveland, huh? Well, we're going to show you like a real friendly welcome by raising up the drawbridge. We're like real hospital people here. Like, hi, Mrs. Cow. Like, hi. Like, hi.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just waiting for him to raise up the drawbridge. You want to stay and watch?
No, thanks, but I hope you have fun.
Like, thanks. What are you doing?
I'm on my way to the Peabody roof. You want to come along?
No, thanks, but I hope you have fun.
Thanks. Maynard, you real mad at me?
Nah.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Well, not real mad, just middling mad. You can't help it if you're a double-crosser.
No, Maynard, I didn't double-cross you.
Sure you did. You turned out to be a girl.
I was always a girl.
No, you wasn't. Girls don't dig dipping sheep in circus tents and the old Endicott building.
I mean, inside of me, I was always a girl. Till tonight, I guess I was trying to keep it from myself, too.
Yeah, and then you went and spoiled everything.
I found out I like having boys say nice things to me, just like all the other girls. I found out you can shimmy up trees and play handball with the longshoremen for just so long. And then you'd better stop being just a person and start being a girl. It happens to all of us, Maynard. It'll happen to you, too.
I'll start being a girl?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I'll become a dude, and I'll start wearing fancy clothes and saying nice things to chicks, even if I don't mean them. And I miss dipping sheep in the old Endicott building. Maybe some chick won't like it. Oh, no, not me. I'm staying me, Maynard G. Krebs.
And you should. Maynard G. Krebs is a fine, worthwhile person. But someday he'll be Maynard G. Krebs the man. It'll happen. You'll see.
Not without a fight, it won't.
I better go now. You sure you don't want to come along? The kids will all be glad to see you.
The Peabody roof, me? Like, huh?
Thanks, Maynard. Thanks for everything. Every minute I've known you is a minute I'll always remember.
Like, huh?
Bye, Maynard.
Bye, Edwina.
Maynard, are you all right? Maynard, what's wrong?
Oh, that chick Eddie, she did an awful thing to me.
Look, Maynard, that's an experience we all have to go through. During your life, a lot of girls will walk out on you and disappoint you and give you a rough time. That's just the way it is.
That isn't the awful thing she did to me.
Oh? What did she do?
She kissed me. Yeah, right here. Oh, Dobe, you were right. Them chicks are all like, you gotta watch them like a hawk.
Yeah, sure, Maynard, sure.
Hey, look, Dobe. Oh, the bridge is on its way up. Oh, man. Yep, it's right on time, Dobe. Oh, isn't that the most beautiful sight you ever seen in your whole life? Ooh, like, wow. Hey, look, Dobe. There go them cattle boats, look. Goodbye, Mr. Cow. Goodbye, Mrs. Cow. Goodbye, baby cow.
Maynard.
How do I look, Dobe? Spiffy, huh?
Maynard, you're beautiful. There's something different about you.
Like true. It's this hand-painted tie. The salesman says it'll go with anything I eat.
Yeah, that must be it. Maynard, I know where you're going.
Yeah, to see Edwina. I mean, Eddie.
Yeah, Maynard, listen.
Dobe, I was thinking about what you were telling me about, going out to fancy places and dancing like that. So I bought this box of candy, and I picked this whole bunch of flowers, and me and Eddie are going to be like Romeo and Julius.
Yeah, Maynard, look, pay attention. I don't quite know how to tell you this, but Eddie's going steady with Walter Funk.
See, that's nice. Dobe, it's about time I started hacking around. Going steady with Walter Funk?
I'm sorry I had to be the one to tell you, Maynard, but don't let it get you down. In time, you'll get over it.
Going steady with Walter Funk?
Try to look on the brighter side.
Going steady with Walter Funk?
Try not to be bitter. Remember, every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah, that's true, Dome. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if Eddie's going steady with Walter Funk, then I got this whole box of candy.
Yeah.
don't expect these poor boys to walk for 15 consecutive minutes on those wobbly little legs of theirs, do you?
Who's picking you up, dear?
A princess, a queen, a vision of loveliness.
A chick.
Hi, Dobie. Hi, Maynard. Have you got it?
Oh, hi, Daphne, my heart. It's right here. Voila.
Dobie, this is marvelous. Early trends in Peruvian architecture. How cute.
Mom, Dad, this is Daphne Winsett, the future Mrs. Dobie Gillis, if everything goes according to plan.
How do you do?
Just a moment. Did you say you're getting married?
Mrs. Gillis, Mr. Gillis, you have a very cute boy, even though his imagination has a tendency to run away with him.
But there's nothing serious between you and Dobie.
What a ridiculous idea.
You think my boy Dobie's ridiculous?
Oh, no, I think Dobie's darling.
But there's nothing serious between you.
How could there be? Dobie's a dreamer. All he cares about is culture and art and poetry. Me, on the other hand, what I like is business and commerce and finance.
And loot. Well, if there is such a vast difference between you and Dobie, how come you're all the time hanging around?
Well, he's nice looking.
Yeah.
And he's a good dancer.
Yeah.
And he has a nice sense of humor.
Yeah.
And he does your homework?
And he does my homework.
Like Daphne Winsett said, I'm a man who's interested in truth and beauty. But what Daphne wants is a man who's interested in business and finance. So I, Dobie Gillis, poet and dreamer, am going to turn into Dobie Gillis, financier and tycoon. And right now.
You, Mr. Gillis, are taking economics?
You, Mr. Pomfret, are teaching economics?
I asked you first. What is an unlikely type like you doing in an economics class? And oh, what a foolish question. Who is she?
Her name's Daphne Winsett.
Well, that accounts for you, Mr. Gillis. What about you, Mr. Krebs? What are you doing here?
I'm with Dobe.
That's your only reason.
Right. Oh, and a word of warning to you, sir.
What's that?
If you try to throw me out, I cry.
Stay, Mr. Krebs. By all means, stay.
Okay, Mr. Pomfret, it's your turn. What are you doing in economics?
Yeah, Mr. Pomfret. I mean, you teach history and poetry and biology and all that jazz. What do you know about economics?
Very little, as I am about to demonstrate. However, the dean told me this morning to teach economics, and one does not argue with the dean.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be very good at it.
I'm not.
Nor am I. However, let us be of good heart. Please take your seats. And together we will venture into the unexplored jungle of money and banking.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
You want a tycoon? I'll be a tycoon.
Oh, Dobie, don't be silly. Why don't you stick to art and poetry and leave the finance to the financiers?
Good thinking.
Maynard, you're supposed to be on my side.
I've been assigned to take over this class in economics from Professor Randolph, who had the good sense to reach retirement age last Friday. Now, my teaching economics may turn out to be one of the major errors in the history of higher education. I will gladly accept applications for transfer at the end of the hour. Meanwhile, let us take up the subject of marketing. Can anyone here give me a nice, brief definition of the word You, Mr. Krebs, on your first day?
Yeah. Mr. G does it. That's Dobe's father, Mr. G. What he does, he goes down to the market with them farmer cats and he sneers and says, I wouldn't feed them carrots to a condemned horse.
No.
Then he walks away and shakes his head and gets some carrots down about 7 cents a bunch.
Maynard.
And takes them back to the grocery and marks them up to 49 cents a
Maynard,
bunch.
cease and desist.
Then my mother comes in and looks at him and says and yells, 49 cents a bunch for them carrots? What are they, like dipped in platinum? I wouldn't urge.
Enough. Now, I think you've got the general idea, Maynard, but we're dealing here with a broader conception of the term marketing. Now, can anyone else give...
Excuse me, Professor Pomfret, but this is pretty elementary stuff. Professor Randolph had us all the way to page 97.
I see. Puts you roughly 96 pages ahead of me. What is your assignment for today?
Commodity futures.
What futures?
Oh, like eggs, wheat, butter, cotton. See, today's quotations from the Chicago Commodity Exchange are on the board. We each invested $5,000, hypothetically, of course. The idea is to buy when the commodity is low and sell when it's high.
Well, then I take it everyone in class has picked a commodity.
That's right.
Oh, well, then why don't we have a progress report? We'll start with you, Miss Winsett.
Well, I'm speculating in egg futures. I bought 15,000 dozen fresh shell eggs Monday at 29 cents, and they're up 2 cents, which gives me a $300 profit so far.
Congratulations. Now, Mr.
Professor Pomfret.
Yes?
You're supposed to ask whether I'm selling or staying with my purchase.
All right. Are you selling or staying with your purchase?
I'm staying because eggs are in short supply and they should keep rising in price.
Fine. And now, Mr.
Professor Pomfret,
Yes?
Professor Randolph always grades us on our decisions and explains whether they're good or bad.
That's what Professor Randolph always does, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to dismiss the class and go do some homework. Maybe in a couple of months I'll catch up with the rest of you. Class dismissed. Yo, hello, Dean.
Well, that's an auspicious start. Your class lasted exactly 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, that was 10 minutes too long, considering the preparation I had.
Pomfret, I like you. You're an intelligent, scholarly man, and that's good.
Well, thank you, sir.
But that's not enough today. Classwork is fine in its way, but don't take it so seriously. You should get around more, meet people, make contacts, give talks, operate, wheel and deal. Put S. Peter Pryor Junior College on the map.
Well, I was kind of under the impression that you'd hired me to teach.
So I did, Pomfret, so I did. But there's much more to it than that. Do you know there are millions of dollars kicking around for research grants, government contracts, new laboratories, new buildings?
Well, I suppose there are, but what's that got to do with me?
Why, everything, man. The colleges that get all that loot are the colleges where the teachers make a splash.
I'm afraid I'm not the splashy type.
Yes, I'm afraid you're right.
I have only one serious failing as a teacher. All I can do is teach.
Well, I guess every college gets stuck with a few like you.
Those are the breaks.
Carry on, Pomfret.
Oh, and thanks for the words of inspiration and guidance, sir.
Anytime, son. Anytime.
Dobie, who are you kidding? You'll never learn economics.
Daphne, yes, I will.
No, he won't.
Take today's class in marketing, for instance. Did you understand one word of it?
Why, sure.
All right. What were they talking about?
Commodity.
He's got you there, girl.
And what are commodities?
Well, well, everybody knows what commodities are.
I don't.
And neither does Dobie.
Well, I'll learn.
Learning isn't enough. Any fool can understand about eggs and butter and soybeans and stuff like that. But to know when to buy and when to sell, it's got to be in your blood. And you, dear Dobie, have the blood of a poet.
No, Daphne, I'll learn how to buy and sell, too.
What's the use, Dobe? Even if you do learn, which you won't, where are you going to get the loot? You see where those kids were tossing money around that class? Man, they must be all like loaded.
Maynard, that money was just on paper.
Who cares where you keep it? On paper, in your shoes? You could even line your undies with it. No offense.
Maynard, that was hypothetical money. It's not for real.
You mean it's like pretend money?
That's right. And pretend money is the only kind of money you and your dreamy friend here are ever going to have. So, Dobie, let's not try to be what we're not. Forget about economics and just go on being the sweet, penniless, dreamy schnook you've always been. Goodbye, Dobie, dear.
I'll show her. Someday I'll prove to her that I'm hard and keen and practical and shrewd.
You? Oh, come
I'll
now.
study economics real hard. I'll buy and sell those commodities so well that at the end of the semester I'll have more hypothetical money than any kid in the whole class.
You? Oh, come
And
now.
it's all very simple. I'll just buy whatever Daphne buys.
Hey, good thinking. Too bad you have to do it with pretend money instead of using like real money. Because then you really have real money and you wouldn't have to pretend it was real.
Maynard, you've just given me an idea.
Me? Oh, come now.
Hey, listen carefully. I'll buy whatever Daphne buys. Only when I buy, it won't be hypothetical. I'll put down hard cash.
Brilliant, though.
And I'll get rich. Really rich. Not just on paper. And Daphne will be mine.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
Thank you, Maynard.
Only one thing wrong.
What?
This hard cash to invest, where are you going to get it?
Maynard had put his finger right on the problem. Where was I going to get some good hard cash to invest? Well, the answer wasn't too tough. I'd make a little loan, say $500. Who'd lend me $500? Well, naturally, the first person I thought of was
me. $500?
Dobie, dear, your father's right. We're really not in a position to lend you $500. However, I admire your ambition, and I'm prepared to help you in every way that I can.
What are you going to do? Give him a side of beef? Winnie, your coat. Why, that coat cost us 2 whole summer vacations.
Hush, this thing needs cleaning, and the lining is ripped.
Mom, you're all heart.
So if you take this in for cleaning and sewing, I'll give you $1. There. Isn't that a good start?
Thanks a lot. Okay, call me weak.
You're weak.
Okay, call me sneaky.
You're sneaky.
That was a rotten, shameful thing I did, hocking my mom's fur coat. But what could I do? I had to have Daphne Winsett. I had to. So I put my plan into operation immediately. I went to see a broker. Naturally, I didn't want him to think I was just a green kid, so I kind of spruced up a little for the occasion.
The name's Gillis, son. I expect you heard of me.
I'm not sure that
Well,
I have.
possibly not. I try to keep my operations as quiet as possible. You do understand, huh?
Of course, Mr. Gillis. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you, son. Thank you.
Can I order you some coffee, sir?
If you don't mind, son, I prefer a glass of no, thanks, son.
Now then, what can I do for you, sir?
I've heard some good things about your firm, Mitt Gang. Mighty good things.
Thank you, sir.
So I thought I'd take a little flyer with you, in a small way, of course.
Well, I'm sure you'll be satisfied with our service, Mr. Gillis. Now, precisely, what are you interested in?
Yeah, commodity futures, son. To be precise, eggs. Hen eggs.
Uh-huh. I happen to agree with you, sir. Eggs are a very smart buy right now.
Well, I didn't get where I got by being stupid, huh, Mitt Gang?
Of course, sir. Let me buzz my associates.
No. Don't tell anybody else. I mean, let's do this as quietly as we can. I mean, if the word gets out that Gillis is buying...
Say no more.
Yeah.
All right, sir. What do you say to something in the neighborhood of $10,000 or $12,000 a day?
Yeah, well, have you got any other neighborhoods?
500.
Well, I'm spread a bit thin for that. What's the smallest buy?
Let me see. 15,000 dozen eggs, that's $5,000, which makes the margin $500.
That's roughly what I was thinking of. Now, let's run over the profit picture again. When the eggs go up like that,
Mr. Funk's lard is up 2 cents. That makes $200, and he's staying with it. Very good. Now, Miss Winsett?
My eggs have gone up 3.5 cents. That's another $525. I'm staying with them because the broker's column in the Journal says that jet aircraft over the northern poultry farms are unsettling the hens, and eggs are continuing in short supply.
Excellent. You have a brilliant future as a broker, Miss Winsett. How about you, Mr. Gillis?
I'm with Daphne. I bought eggs, too.
Well, that's more intelligent than I could have expected. And you, Mr. Krebs?
Could I borrow another 10,000 or so?
I take it Caribbean copra is still falling.
Yeah, but I'm going to take a flyer in Tunisian tinfoil. I figure with the TV dinner season coming up, I'm going to clean up, because...
We'll take up your case tomorrow, Mr. Krebs. Class dismissed.
Daphne, has anyone ever told you that you're beautiful and adorable and smart and desirable and keen and yummy and shrewd and wonderful?
Of course.
And you're the greatest egg expert in the country.
Is that all it takes to impress you? A simple little marketing problem?
To you, it's a simple little marketing problem. To me, it's the key to paradise. And to my mother...
Your mother?
With her coat and your brains, the sky's the limit. Met Gang, this is Get Rich Quick Gillis. I couldn't get over to the ticker today. What's the picture? $925, huh? Not bad at all. Hello, Mitt Gang. How'd my eggs do today? $1,255, huh? No. I've got my experts watching it, and I'm staying in. Hello, Mitt Gang. Gillis here. How's everything at the Omelet Foundry today? Up another cent? What?
Sell now.
Sell? Don't be ridiculous, my good man.
But, Mr. Gillis, I wish you'd take my
Mitt Gang.
before it's too late. The market is at a complete standstill.
Mitt Gang, please, I must remind you that they're my eggs and I'll sell them when I'm ready. Poor man, apparently the big money panics him.
Dobie Gillis?
Yes, Mom?
Aren't you forgetting part of our bargain?
What bargain?
I gave you $1 to take my coat to the cleaners days ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well, dear, that $1 was for a round trip. You're supposed to pick it up, too, you know.
Oh, sure. Well, it may be a few days yet, Mom.
A few days?
And I may have a little surprise for you. How'd you like a nice big sealskin muff to go with it?
Dobie, be serious. That coat is the best thing I own.
Maybe we'll get you a mink or a sable. Then you can wear the sealskin for every day.
Just exactly what are you up to?
Mom, they laughed at the old easygoing impractical Dobie. Now there's been some changes made. Trust me for a couple of more days, and I'll have a wonderful surprise for you. Bye, Mom.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll probably get the hang of this commodity business by the end of the semester. Meanwhile, I must say that you all impress me with your savvy in marketing. There's only one student in the class who's lost money in commodities.
It's only $3, and my luck's bound to change.
No, Mr. Krebs, that decimal point is way over on the right. It's $300,000. Well, let's finish up now. Your report, please, Miss Winsett.
Eggs went up another 2 cents yesterday. My total profit was $1,150, and of course I sold.
Splendid. That kind of money gets an A+ in my book. Mr. Gillis, I suppose you followed our fair wizard's lead?
Not on your life. Eggs are still going up, and I'm not selling. I'm waiting until they slow down.
I see.
Just a minute, Dobie. Professor Pomfret, you had to sell yesterday.
Who had to sell?
Anybody who doesn't want to take delivery on the eggs, that's who.
What do you mean?
Because yesterday was Spot Day, genius. The 15th is closing day in the Chicago egg market.
Spot Day? What does that mean?
Yes, Daphne, what does that mean?
It means if you don't sell on Spot Day, you actually have to accept delivery on the commodity.
Now, you mean if, for instance, somebody bought 15,000 dozen eggs and didn't sell them yesterday, they'd actually deliver 15,000 dozen eggs to him?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Tell me something, Dobie. Do you often turn a bright, vivid green?
That's right, Mr. Gillis. You now own 15,000 dozen fresh shell eggs.
I thought that's what you said.
You're setting your cool one, Mr. Gillis. I realized yesterday when you wouldn't let me sell out, you had plans for those eggs.
Oh, yeah, us Gillises are big eaters.
Well, to the matter at hand, your freight carload of eggs will be arriving at the Grove Street siding in a couple of days. Just let me know about your warehouse facilities, the fleets of trucks and so on, and your check for the $4,500 will be due when the eggs arrive.
Yeah.
So congratulations, and I hope to be seeing more of you.
Thank you, Mr. Midgang. Thank you very much. You and Mrs. Midgang will have to drop over to the house sometime for eggnog.
You pawned my fur coat?
And you spent the money to buy eggs with?
I know I shouldn't have, but I saw a chance to make a nice profit. And it wasn't just for me, it was for all of us.
You did a wrong thing, Dobie, but I can't find it in my heart to be too hard on you.
Well, me neither, son. I guess you just got merchandising in your blood, just like your old man. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you get rid of them eggs. How many you got?
15,000 dozen.
15,000 dozen, huh? Well, I'll just set up a little display here, see? And maybe I'll take and add in the...
Dad, I know it seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot, boy. You are underplaying. There ain't that many working hens in the whole United States of America, including Minneapolis and St. Paul. That's more dozen eggs than there are people in this whole town.
I don't need my coat. I can just spend the rest of my life in the store.
Dad, I hate to ask at a time like this, but when the eggs arrive,
yes,
I'll need another $4,500.
$4,500.
Just until I sell the eggs, of course.
Don't depend on spending the rest of your life in the store. I'm going to have to sell it to pay for that guy's eggs.
All right, call me a rat.
You rat?
Call me a skunk.
You skunk?
Never mind. But that's what I am. A rat and a skunk. A rat and a skunk with 15,000 dozen eggs. Where was I going to get rid of them? Where?
Your trouble's over, good buddy.
Maynard, you sold the eggs.
Every last one of them.
Maynard, I could kiss you.
Well, just a little one on the cheek.
Yeah, never mind. Maynard, where'd you sell the eggs?
Well, I was reading in the newspaper where the Girl Scouts are going to have a national jamboree, so I went to see the head Girl Scout lady. And I said, "Head Girl Scout lady, what's a jamboree without hard-boiled eggs?" And she said, "Mr. Krebs?" That's what she called me, Mr. Krebs. How about that, Dope? They don't even call my father Mr. Krebs.
Maynard, what'd she say?
Who?
The head Girl Scout lady.
Oh, she said, "Mr. Krebs, you're absolutely right." How about that, Dope? Calling me Mr. Krebs. They don't even call my
Maynard,
father.
we already did that.
Oh, she said she'd take every one of the eggs when they had the jamboree.
Oh, Maynard, you're wonderful. When's the jamboree?
6 months from last Tuesday. Don't be a faint heart, good buddy. I got like another swinging idea. Like, behold, only 235 shopping days until Easter. Get your Easter eggs now.
Maynard, how can I thank you enough?
What are friends for?
No, it's no use to me. There's only one thing I can do. Only one thing.
You're quitting school.
Yes, sir, I came to say goodbye.
Oh, now hold on, Dobie. Don't get discouraged. Well, I think you're really beginning to get the hang of economics.
I think not. Sir, you remember those egg futures I was buying hypothetically?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't hypothetical. I really bought them, and I really own them. 15,000 dozen eggs. And I'm quitting school to get a job to make the money to pay back my father.
Oh, Dobie, I can't tell you how sorry I am, and it's all my fault. If I'd known my course properly, I would have taught you to sell those eggs when you were supposed to.
Well, if I'd studied harder, I would have known myself.
I guess we're neither of us businessmen.
You can say that again.
Just a couple of academic schnooks.
How well you put it.
Hello, Dean.
Hello, Pomfret. Goodbye, Gillis.
Goodbye, Dean. Goodbye, Mr. Pomfret. Thanks for everything.
Well, come and see me sometime.
Yes, I will, Mr. Pomfret. Bye.
Well, Pomfret, I must say your students show a great deal of affection for you. Honesty compels me to say, however, that this affection is not shared by the administration.
Now what have I done?
It's what you haven't done. You teach biology, don't you?
Yes, and poetry and history and economics, plus I coach the debating and fencing team.
Well, let's just stick to biology for the moment. Are you aware, Pomfret, that the United States Public Health Service has advertised for bids for a new experimental vaccine?
No, sir.
Of course not. You would know about things like that. You would know that some go-getting biology lab run by some go-getting professor would make a tidy little profit for his university. Hmm? You wouldn't know about things like that.
No, sir, I wouldn't know about things like that.
Of course not. You're an egghead.
That's right, I'm an... Dean, did you say that the government was looking for a lab to grow a new experimental vaccine?
Ah, so you were listening.
Well, I may not be a go-getter or a wheeler and dealer, but I know biology.
So do I. So what?
So where do you grow a vaccine culture?
In fresh eggs, of course.
Aha!
Aha, what? There isn't an egg to be had in the whole state. Don't you think I've been trying?
How many do you need?
Thousands and thousands. Why?
What would you say if I was to tell you that I knew where to put my hands on more eggs than you've seen in your entire life?
I'd say that you were cracking up.
Boy, have you got a surprise coming, Dean, baby.
And furthermore, Pomfret... Dean, baby.
Dobie!
Yes, sir?
Dobie, my merchant prince, come back in here on the double.
Yes, sir.
Now, what's going on here, Pomfret?
Just relax a minute, Dean, baby. You'll find out.
Dean, baby.
What is it, Mr. Pomfret?
Dobie, you wouldn't happen to know where the Dean here could lay his hands on thousands and thousands of fresh shell eggs, would you?
Well, it just so happens that I've got thousands and thousands of fresh shell eggs.
Oh, and would you be willing to sell them to the Dean?
Delighted.
Well, sir, what do you say to that?
Just call me Dean, baby.
Good morning, Dobie.
Oh, hi, Daphne.
I heard all about your big egg deal at school. You're the hero of the campus.
Oh, I do what I can.
Have you got it?
Got what?
My history homework.
No, Daphne, I don't have it.
I don't understand.
It's very simple. I'm not going to do your homework anymore.
You're kidding.
No, Daphne. A long time ago, you agreed I was a whiz in poetry and history and like that, true?
True.
But I was a knucklehead in business and finance. Well, I just proved I'm not such a knucklehead after all. Now, think it over, Daphne. A man who knows art and culture and also business and finance. Well, a man like that's quite a catch. I mean, a man like that doesn't have to do a girl's homework in order to hang on to her. And a girl who finds herself a man like that can count herself pretty lucky. Now, think it over, Daphne. Think it over.
Goodbye, Dobie.
Where are you going?
To think it over.
Daphne.
And I think pretty slow. It may take several years.
My poor baby. Don't pamper him now, Winnie. Chin up, son. Nobody likes a crybaby.
Sure, Dad.
Remember that old thing, boy, about laugh and the world laughs with you. Cry and you cry alone. But the man worthwhile is the one who can smile when everything goes dead wrong.
Hey, great. Come here, Dad. I want you to do some smiling.
Huh?
Dad, remember how the college bought those eggs for that experiment?
Oh, yeah, and I was sure proud of you, boy, unloading all that 15,000 dozen eggs.
Yeah, well, Dad, they didn't exactly take all 15,000 dozen eggs.
Oh?
Dad, start smiling.
Oh?
Maynard.
No, Maynard, what?
No, Maynard, I will not lend you a quarter for a chili burger with mustard, onions, and sliced bananas.
Hey, how'd you know I was going to ask that? You must be,
The word is psychic.
The word is cheap.
Maynard.
No offense, though, but it ain't your fault you're cheap. It's a cheap way you're brought up by your cheap father, the old Flintstone.
Maynard, that's skin flint, and you're right. But there's a reason. You see, all his life, Dad's had to struggle for every penny he's ever had. He says kids these days have it too easy. They don't know what good hard work is.
Quite so, Gillis, baby. What good is it? Don't crowd, you greedy oafs. You'll bruise the cashmere. Here, fabulously expensive gold watches for you, and you, and you, and...
Chatsworth Osborne Jr. is the richest boy in town. He drives a fancy foreign sports car, he lives in a beautiful house on the hill, and he has unlimited charge accounts at all the classy stores. But with all that, is he happy? Well, yes, I guess he is. But it's not real happiness. Not the kind that's lasting or important. You don't believe me? Okay. Just look at the way he celebrates his birthday.
On this, my joyous natal day, oh joy to me, hooray, hooray!
Chatsworth, you are the utter flaming ultimate. I mean, giving us watches to celebrate your birthday, I mean.
Yes, I am rather sporty, amn't I? There will now be great gobs of appreciative, unsolicited applause. And now for the pièce de résistance. You are all invited, social position notwithstanding, to attend a gala soiree at my palatial home. Halt! Halt, peasants, I command you. Didn't you hear? You were invited to Osborne Manor.
Thanks anyhow, Chatsworth, but I've got to get home and study. I'm weeks behind in history.
Well, no! Come back! Please, compatriots, schoolmates, friends, please don't go. Oh, mice and rats. Dobie, why won't anyone come to my party? What did I do wrong? What?
Chatsworth, listen to me. Those kids turned down your invitation because you tried to win their friendship by paying for it. You'll never be a worthwhile human being if you put money before character.
Oh, come now.
You're supposed to be on my side.
But I must admit you are far better liked than I, despite your commonplace origins. You are respected for what you are, not for what your family can buy for you. Yes, you are a fine, upstanding citizen of the future.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, me neither.
It's true. Tell me, Dobie-Doo, how did you get to be the kind of chap you are today?
Bad breaks.
How I envy you. You must have been molded into your present manly shape by some rock-hard, solid, stubborn, unbending force.
For Pete's sake, Dobie, I've been driving all over this cotton-picking campus looking for you. What kind of malarkey's going on around here anyway?
Dad, I wasn't supposed to meet you to help with the delivery until 4.
What's the matter? It's going to kill you to be a few minutes early? How long have I been yapping at you about ambition and push and get up and go? Boy, if you're ever going to amount to anything in this world, you got to remember the...
Did you ever wonder how come you act like you and I act like me? Well, there's a lot of reasons, of course, but mostly I'd say it's on account of our parents and the way we were brought up. I mean, my parents, for instance, are strict but fair. Maynard's parents are bewildered but hopeful. And Chatsworth Osborne Jr.'s mother's is
I'm a supreme example of American motherhood. Sweet, kind, gentle, understanding. And if you do not stop pestering me at once, it's Devil's Island for you, you nasty boy.
Mumsy, I am not a nasty boy. Yesterday I celebrated my 20th birthday.
That makes you a nasty 20-year-old nasty boy.
Lovable me?
Thanks to lovable you, I will probably have to call off my tiger hunt in India. I can't go and leave you all alone here at Osborne Manor.
Why not? I am perfectly capable of taking care of myself. I am in college. I am a veteran of the armed forces.
Oh, Chatsworth, it pains me deeply to tell you this, but merely being in college and being a veteran does not necessarily qualify you to be a responsible, dependable person.
Yes, I'm afraid so, Mumsy.
You have every qualification to be a man. Age, education, background, and still.
I am nothing but a nasty boy.
True, heartbreaking, but true. No, to leave you alone here would merely mean to invite disaster and quadruple insurance rates. No, Chatsworth, let's face the facts. You are my son. You have many, many fine qualities. most of which escape me for the moment. But I cannot leave you here without a strong, firm, rough hand to lead you around by the ear.
Mumsy, I will try valiantly. Wait! A strong, firm, rough hand. I know just the man. I know.
Oh, simmer down, Chatsworth. What are you jabbering about?
Mumsy, what if I could find someone who is strong and firm and rough enough? Someone who could mold Chatsworth Osborne Jr., namby-pamby weakling, into Chatsworth Osborne Jr., manly man among men.
Well, it would be bye-bye Chatsworth, hello India. Oh, where would we ever find such a man? Someone hard and firm and ruthless. Now that Captain Bligh is no longer with us.
I've got just the man. He'll turn me into the kind of person I so long to be. Self-reliant, firm, decisive, confident.
Mean, rotten, mean, also cheap.
Maynard, you're talking about my father.
That's the fellow, rough-looking. Mean, rotten, mean, also
I know all those things. That's why I want to borrow him.
Borrow my father? Chatsworth, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
If necessary, I'll rent him.
Look.
I'd buy him, but I hear tell there are laws.
I don't get this, Chatsworth. I mean, my father's an honest citizen and a veteran, and you get used to him and all that, but borrow him?
Borrow? Who wants to borrow something? Boy, you let me catch you lending anything out of this store, and you'll pay for it out of your salary if it takes the next 20 years.
Mr. Gillis, you are magnificent.
What's the matter with you? You some kind of a blue-blooded nut or something?
Mr. Gillis, I came here to ask a favor of you.
Him? Oh, come now.
Maynard.
Mr. Gillis.
All right, Chatsworth, tell me what you want so I'll know what I'm saying no to.
I want you to make me into exactly the kind of man your son Dobie is.
I was right. You are a blue-blooded nut.
No, I'm serious, Mr. Gillis. Please listen to me. Mr. Gillis!
This seems to mean a great deal to Chatsworth, dear. Why don't you hear him out?
Okay, Chatsworth, what's on your mind?
Mr. Gillis!
I've heard enough, and I'm against the whole thing. Goodbye.
Look at me, Mr. Gillis. What kind of a person do I appear to be? The truth now.
Well, Mr. G, if you're short on words, I got plenty.
Maynard.
What about you, Mrs. Gillis? How would you describe me?
Well...
Dobie?
Well...
Oh, boy, my turn.
Maynard.
I'm spoiled. True? Snobbish. Overbearing. Snooty.
Yep, them are the words.
It's true. That's exactly the kind of person I've been. Snobbish, snooty, overbearing.
You left out creepy.
All right. Creepy. That's why I need your help, Mr. Gillis. I want you to move into Osborne Manor while Mumsy is away. Bring your family with you if you wish. And make me over. Make me toe the mark the way you did with Dobie. Make a man of me. My life to now has been a terrible waste. I desperately need someone to straighten me out before it's too late.
You know something, Chatsworth? Under that snooty outside, I've got a feeling that you've got a pretty okay inside.
I hope so, Dobie, do. I truly hope so.
Mr. Gillis will be overjoyed to help you, Chatsworth, dear, won't you, Herbert?
Now, Winnie...
Dad, a human soul's crying out for help. How can you say no?
You're right, son. I'm too big a man to back down in the face of this challenge. Chatsworth, you've got yourself a deal. But you better be loaded with intestinal fortitude, because from now on it's early to bed, early to rise, hard work, the rough and ready life.
Glorioski, I'm beginning to feel stalwart and manly already.
Teaching Chatsworth Osborne Jr. how to become a man was not a job to be taken lightly. But if it could be done, Dad was a fella to do it. In the first place, he doesn't go for any of that fancy bowing and scraping.
I don't go for none of that fancy bowing and scraping.
Now cut that out. I want you to treat me like I was a simple person.
He is bowing and scraping to me, simple man. If you were any more simple, it would be indecent.
Hello, Mrs. Osborne.
Gillis, I understand that you are going to attempt to take my place and make a hard-working, earthy man among men out of my poor baby. Chatsworth, button your coat, dear. There's a draft out here.
Mumsy, please.
Well, I shall do my best, ma'am. After all, there's good stuff in the boy. It just ain't been brought out right around here. No offense.
And so you intend to bring out this good stuff in him?
Mrs. Osborne, when you get back home, you won't recognize the boy.
Well, I've always tried to do what is right for Chatsworth, ever since his father went to that big board of directors meeting in the sky. Raising a boy alone is not easy for a poor, helpless widow. By the way, Tremblay, call my broker first thing in the morning. Tell him to buy up every share of Amalgamated Tin if it breaks the company and every miserable stockholder in it.
It'll be attended to, madam.
Mrs. Osborne, my husband does not mean that he intends to take your place. It's just that, forgive me, without a firm, masculine hand to guide him, a boy can go off in odd directions.
Oh, no. Don't shilly-shally, Mrs. Gillis. Your coarse working-man husband intends to show Chatsworth that our way of life has been harmful.
It must be true, Mumsy, else why am I so unpleasant?
The word is nasty, but you do have a point. I have absolutely no faith in the outcome of this whole experiment, but I have promised Chatsworth that he may have a go at it, and I never renege on a promise, unless I feel like it. Tremblay, my bags. India awaits.
Farewell, Mumsy. Good hunting.
All right, Chatsworth. Break clean. No, an invasion, Tremblay, by elephant gun.
So it's just me managing Krebs.
Call Washington. Try to get President Harding directly.
Maynard's with me, Mrs. Osborne. He gets lonesome alone.
I cry.
Oh, no. Oh, after this, man-eating tigers will be a ladies' tea party. So, they think they can brainwash Mumsy's little lamb. Ha! Mumsy is going nowhere. Mumsy is staying right here and watch them fail miserably.
Here, madam.
Oh, this secret passage goes all through the house. It was built by Chatsworth's great-great-grandfather, Republican J. Osborne. He hid out here through 5 Democratic administrations. Tremblay, hide the luggage. There's more than one way to skin a Gillis.
Yes, madam.
The reason this kid is soft and flabby and wishy-washy is because the living around here is soft and flabby and wishy-washy. But no more, all the fancy living is out!
Bravo, Mr. Gillis.
Thank you. I'll have nobody in this house who's a time waster, a slacker, a gold brick, a goof-off.
You rang? My cards, G. When does easy living start?
Maynard, drop that gear, fall in, and start shaping up.
Right, yes, sir, your dictatorship.
And that's the way it's gonna be. Hard work, no frills. Any questions? That's what I like to see. No back talk. Dismissed. And listen, you guys better get upstairs and start sleeping on the double because Reveille goes at 0600. We got to get out there and rake leaves and paint the tool shed and dig a couple of 100 post holes.
Yeah, 6 o'clock, Dad?
Like 6 o'clock? Like bye.
Chatsworth, the idea is don't weaken. Keep driving ahead toward that goal.
Never let anything tempt you away from the course that you've chosen to follow. That's the secret of success.
With the two of them as my inspiring examples, how could anything in this world possibly sidetrack me?
Trembling.
You hissed, madam?
Don't look at the picture, you knucklehead. Carry on. Face the other way.
As you say, madam.
This oaf Gillis must be smarter than he looks.
He'd have to be, madam.
He and his idiotically virtuous family have firmly convinced Chatsworth that the soft and easy life is unhealthy.
Good gad, shouldn't we report them to some congressional committee?
No, there's a quicker way. Let us see how long the noble Gillises can resist the soft and easy life when it's offered to them.
Ah, madam is a genius.
Never mind the flattery, Tremblay. Just get cracking. Great-grandfather Osborne was a drinking man, and it's soggy in here.
Very well. Edith, I want to talk to you.
Zut alors, Tremblay. Qu'est-ce que c'est this hard work and qu'est-ce que c'est this blabbermouth Heberty Gillis?
Don't worry, he won't be with us for long. Meanwhile, you take care of Mrs. Gillis, the full treatment.
Ooh, the treatment? Ooh la la?
Right. And I'll be giving old Blabbermouth the treatment double. Ooh la la.
When my father was a boy, he led a very hard life. You know why? Because his family was cheap. Yeah, well, maybe cheap's the wrong way to put it. What they really were was, cheap. But that experience made Dad so tough and strong and hard-headed that the luxuries of Osborne Manor could never soften him up.
Hey, what are you doing in here?
I come to bathe you, sir.
Listen, the last time anybody bathed me, it was my mother. I was 6 months old, and I didn't like it then. What's that stuff?
It's iguana oil, sir. Most relaxing.
And whatever happened to good old-fashioned soap? Out! Cut that out, will you? If my back gets scrubbed, I'm going to be the one that's... a little over to the right, please. There, that's the spot I never could get a hold of. I'm a full-grown man, and I'm a... No, a little higher, a little...
I want to tell you, make bigger circles.
Fifi. The only reason that I'm letting you wait on me like this is because it's been a long, tiring day.
Oui, madame. And now, madame must choose for herself a beautiful dressing gown from Paris.
A dressing gown? Oh, no, Fifi, I couldn't take anything. That white one. Is that my size?
It is perfect, madame.
Oh, it's been years since Herbert saw me in anything like this. Not since our honeymoon. Oh, come on, girls, hurry up. I can't wait for Herbert to see me. And don't be cheap with that perfume. Oh, poor Herbert, living the rough and rugged life. He doesn't know what he's missing.
Chinese silk pajamas? You must be kidding.
But, Mr. Gillis, sir, at Osborne Manor, everybody wears this type of sleeping apparel.
Look, I let you talk me into that fancy bath, see? But the silk pajamas is out, and that goes for you too, Waldo. Out!
But, sir, what about the midnight repast that cook has prepared? All sorts of goodies?
Don't you know that it is very unhealthy to eat just before you go to bed? Besides, stuff like, this, well, I guess just this once a little snack ain't gonna hurt me, huh? But I don't want you to think it's gonna become a regular habit, see? Give me just a little dab of those fish eggs, Harry.
Of course it won't become a regular habit. How about some of these oysters Rockefeller?
Well, if Rockefeller ain't using them, why not? Say, Blinky, would you mind slipping on my slippers? I've had a hard, tiring day.
That's the way to talk. Now you've got the right idea.
Poor Winnie. She don't know what she's missing.
All right, so Mrs. Osborne's butler found a couple of little weak spots in Dad. But when it came to fighting off the important luxuries, Dad was strong as an ox.
I can have these peeled the next time.
Good heavens, I completely forgot to cancel Mrs. Osborne's flamenco lesson. I'm sorry, Madam is out of town. Bye-bye. Adios. Vamos. Unless, sir, you'd care to avail yourself of the lessons. They are most, shall we say, interesting.
Well, as long as they're here, we don't want to do anything to upset friendly Latin American relations now, do we? How do you turn them on?
Ole.
Ole. Okay, kids. Ole! Join the party. Hey, look at you. Look at me with the padded kimono and the silk pajamas. Hey, and get a load of this midnight snack over here, huh? And the best entertainment north of Tijuana. Ole?
Herbert, I thought we were supposed to live simply.
Well, Winnie, you know I don't like this fancy living any more than you do, but we got to think of all our other fellow Americans.
Fellow Americans?
Well, sure, all of our other fellow Americans. Take these fish eggs, for instance. Why, if we don't eat them, the first thing you know, the demand for fish eggs starts going down, and it's a known fact that fish eggs collectors have large families, see? Now, what happens to all these little kitties when Papa gets the eggs, huh? Poverty, starvation, malnutrition, that's what. And rubber boots.
Rubber boots?
Well, sure, you don't think a guy can go running around in rivers collecting fish eggs unless he wears rubber boots, do
Well,
you?
I suppose
And
not,
where do
Herbert,
we
but-
get the rubber from to make those rubber boots? South America. You don't want the rest of the world to figure we're turning our backs on our fellow South Americans, do you? And tortillas, what about them?
Tortillas?
No Spanish dance and nobody wears on heels. Nobody wears on heels. Nobody's buying heels. And all the Spanish heel makers are broke and can't buy tortillas. And then the tortilla makers are broken. Winnie, you are driving us smack dab into the center of malnutrition, starvation, poverty, and war with Spain and South America and all us fellow Americans.
I'm just no good. I hate myself. Dancers? Ole!
My Spanish blood.
Oh, Herbert, I only hope I'm in time to undo all the dreadful damage that I've done.
Oh, just do the best you can, Winnie Pooh. Romance is for
Fine.
Not bad, huh?
Thank you. Not bad. Wow. And I feel so patriotic.
And so we may be up for the birds, start working and learning to... What about the virtues of hard work and the plain, simple life?
Well, Chancey, I'll tell you. You see, it was this way. I can explain everything, but, you tell them, Eddie.
No, please, Mr. Gillis. It's all perfectly clear. Temptation was put in your path and you couldn't resist it. I understand. I've spent a lifetime giving in to temptations myself.
Now, just a minute. So we lived it up a little, but this don't mean that I ain't fit to teach you how to grow up and be a man.
No offense, Dad, but that's exactly what it does prove. Chatsworth brought us here to be shining examples of the kind of person he thinks he wants to be. And we've only proved that no one can really rely on someone else to teach him the things he has to learn himself.
Now, hold on, boy. I think that, well, I think I've let you down horribly, Chatsworth, and I don't want you to be mad at me. I'm not bad, I'm just weak.
Please, I feel terrible about letting your mother down because we promised that we'd take care of the house for her.
I shall take care of the house, and I shall take care of Mumsy.
You will do what, you nasty boy? Mumsy! Hard-working, homespun, pioneer spirit. Well, now I hope you've learned a lesson. I have been lurking there all day waiting for this moment.
But, Mumsy!
Quiet, ingrate?
No, Mumsy, I shall not be shushed like a mere child. Your little boy has become a full-fledged Osborne man.
Chatsworth, this is utter nonsense. How can you suddenly be so sure you're a man?
I don't know exactly how. I just know.
Forgive me for interfering, Mrs. Osborne, but Chatsworth is right. Somehow he knows that he's learned all he can from others. From here on in, everything he does or doesn't do in life is up to him, and him alone.
He's just a boy.
No, Mumsy. To everyone in this room, my actions in the past few minutes have proved that I have become a man. But you still see me as a boy. Only to you, Mumsy. Because you can't see clearly for the love in your eyes.
Oh, I guess you're right. Well, now you're a man.
The Mumsies are always the last to know. Now go to India and hunt to your heart's content. Be happy. I am a man now. I shall take charge.
By thunder, I think you can do it. Well, Chatsworth, farewell. I go with a light heart and an itchy trigger finger.
I think I've passed the first test.
You certainly have, dear.
Well, I guess we better get out of here so you can start running Osborne Manor and being simple and rugged and hard-working.
Well, I certainly do want to be simple, rugged, and hard-working. Starting tomorrow. Food, dancing, music, olé! It's a wonder he didn't pounce on her.
A tiger pounce on me? He wouldn't dare.
Well, we're awfully glad that you're home safe and sound and that you're here having dinner with us.
Oh, it was delicious. Now, you must give this recipe to my chef. What's it called?
Frankfurters and beans. Just call Winnie any Tuesday or Thursday and she'll put your name in the pot.
Well, you men sit here and talk. I have dishes to do.
May I help?
Chatsworth, you weren't listening. Men are to sit here and talk. Dishes are a woman's work. Winnie, will I wash or dry?
Glorioski, my cup runneth over.
Occupation, husband seeker. Now, what do these two have in common? They're both geniuses. You know how brilliantly Napoleon operated. It's in all the history books. Now watch Zelda Gilroy in action. Barbara Jean, my angel, I can no longer be silent, for a burning question burns in my heart. Will you marry me?
Well, golly, Dobie.
I beg you, my sweet, speak the magic words that'll stir my heart into joyful melody.
Stop the music.
Zelda, you were spying on me again.
What's spying, Poopsie? I'm merely here to help you win the girl of your dreams, whoever she happens to be this week.
Come off it, Zelda.
Stop me the second I say something wrong.
Hey, Zelda.
Young woman, I shall now show you good reason why you should marry Dobie. He's a solid, substantial citizen, true?
True.
So, if you marry him, he won't do strange, unpredictable things. Hence, your life will be quiet and relaxed with no wild, crazy kicks or excitement, true?
True.
Placid, even, bland, homogenized, like baby food kind of, true?
True.
So marry him already.
Yes, so marry me already.
Placid, bland, baby food. No kicks or excitement? Oh, you've got to be kidding. That's strictly Dullsville. See you around, Buster. Thanks, Zelda. You're a pal.
Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean. Zelda, that was a mean, low, sneaky trick.
Yeah, how about that? What, you poor blind fool? When are you going to stop trying to squirm away from me? I'm zeroing in on you, lover, and when my mind's made up, I'm a tiger.
What's the use kidding? Zelda Gilroy has an IQ that ranks way up there with Einstein and Dr. Schweitzer and Jack Parr. So how come, with all that great mental equipment, she hasn't trapped me? Well, I'm not one to brag, but there can be only one explanation.
Plain, stupid, dumb luck.
It sure fools me you ain't trapped him yet, small girl, because you got like a beautiful brain.
Thank you, Maynard.
The rest of you is kind of spooky, but ooh, that beautiful brain.
My brain is bound to come through for me this time. So far, I failed with logic, but now I've come up with a weapon that can't miss.
A baseball bat.
Salesmanship.
Better try a baseball bat.
This book tells how you can sell anything by using the right psychological principles. Listen. First, attract the customer's attention. Second, generate interest in the product. Third, push to get the prospect to put down his money.
I'll take a dozen.
Never mind, Maynard. The same technique that sells a refrigerator can sell Dobie on the idea of marriage. Now look, Dobie's on his way over here now. I'm going to go hide down the stairs and jump out at him. That's part of the first step. Attract his attention. Now, don't tell him. It's got to be a surprise.
Oh, boy, I love surprises.
Hi, Maynard. What are you doing?
Waiting for old Zelda to pop up out of the stairs and surprise you.
I wonder what Mom packed me for lunch.
Hello, Poopsie. You notice anything different about me?
You're wearing a new dress?
Dobie.
A new hairdo?
Dobie.
I give up, Zelda. What's different about you?
Okay, you attracted his attention. Second, generate interest in the product.
Right. And what a product. Exciting, novel, trustworthy. Guaranteed to provide loyal and devoted service for a lifetime.
Third, push to get the prospect to put down his money.
Yes, sir. You can make this fascinating little item your very own. Act now. Don't delay. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Well, Dobie? Well?
I can't explain it, but all of a sudden I feel an overpowering urge to run out and buy a refrigerator. Ooh, that's Zelda. When it comes to tracking down her man, she makes the Northwest Mounted Police look like the Keystone Cops. With her around, I wasn't even safe in a classroom.
Today, class, we're going to discuss a subject that is of great interest to all of you, marriage.
I'm getting out of here.
It's no use. I tied your shoelaces to the chair.
Oh, come on now, Zelda. That's the most ridiculous story you've made up yet. I'm not going to sit here.
Please, Mr. Gillis, no more clowning around. Now, can anyone in this class give me a concise definition of marriage? How about you, Mr. Krebs? I would like a definition that is well-reasoned and thoughtful, and I withdraw the question.
That ain't kind of your diplomatship. You're all the time saying I don't know the answer. Thought you'd give me a chance.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Krebs. Forgive me.
You like forgiving.
Like thank you.
You like welcome.
Can you answer the question?
Like no.
Like that's what I figured. And now to return from this voyage to a lost continent, Miss Gilroy, can you give us a working definition of marriage?
Marriage is a divinely blissful contractual relationship that unites a loyal, hard-working, devoted female to a fortunate, happy forever after male, leading to supreme joy and rapture for both parties, especially the male. Any questions, Dobie?
That's excellent, Miss Gilroy.
That was my definition. Now would you like to hear my opinion?
I have the feeling we just did. So much for romance, now to marriage. In most societies, marriage is the commonly accepted, lasting relationship between the sexes.
What he said.
Now, what are the reasons that marriage is so widely accepted? Well, here are a few of them. In the first place, married people live 3.7 years longer on the average than single people.
You hear that, Poopsie? A 3.7 years longer life to be happier in.
All right, Zelda, two can play at your little game. 3.7 years. Hear that, Barbara Jean?
As to income, married people make 14.4% more money than single people.
Viva married people!
Married people are better adjusted emotionally. They commit suicide 31.7% less often than single people.
14.4 and 31.7. You get that, lover? Marry me and you'll be wealthier and happier by a total of 46.1%.
Hear that, Barbara Jean? Marry me and you'll be rich as a princess and do very little jumping off bridges.
So we see that marriage brings more money, greater security, better job prospects, and sounder emotional health. All right, now let's open the subject for class discussion. What do you conclude from all this? What are your general views regarding marriage?
Marriage is the most.
Marriage is tops.
Marriage is dreamy.
Marriage is like nothing.
Mr. Krebs, how can you say that?
It's like easy. All you do is open your mouth and out it comes. Watch. Marriage is like nothing.
Weren't you listening to the statistics I quoted?
Sure. I figure I'll live 3.7 years less, earn 14.4 less money, and jump off bridges 31.7 more often. It's better that way.
What's better about it?
I'll be single.
Bad thinking, Maynard. Dobie, marriage is super, and I was all wrong about it before. It's the most. It's the absolute ultimate.
Oh, boy.
Can I be excused, please, Professor? I want to go call this fellow from the Navy who proposed to me last week. I've been waiting long enough to tell him yet.
Barbara Jean. Barbara Jean.
Anchors away, matey. And now, turning to the psychological factors.
You see that, Dobie? Sooner or later, they all run out on you, except me. So why don't you wise up, mister, and quit fighting?
Never, Zelda, so long as there's breath in this frail body.
Yeah, good buddy.
Dobie, you are destined to be mine, and nothing will stop me. Nothing.
Like, hi, good buddy. Where you been all day?
Maynard, I've been thinking.
It's not my line of work.
Maynard, look at me. What do you see?
I better not say. We've been friends too long.
I'll tell you what you see. You see a failure with a bleak and dismal future ahead.
I see all that? Man, I'm like amazing.
What's going to become of me, Maynard? I mean, let's face it, I'm not exactly the smartest fella in the world.
That's for sure.
Don't agree so fast. Also, I'm not the most talented guy in the world or the handsomest. My folks are hard-working, decent people, but they don't have a lot of money or important contacts.
And your father's mean and rotten, and that don't help. No offense.
No offense. So what kind of future have I got?
Like dismal. You're almost as bad off as me, and that's sinking pretty low.
There's only one chance for me to get out of this rut and be somebody.
Grab it.
I've got to marry Zelda.
Drop it.
No, Maynard. Zelda's been right all along. When I started thinking about what Mr. Pomfret said today, I all of a sudden realized I'd better grab her before it's too late.
You're making jollies, huh, Dobe?
With Zelda's my wife, I'll make more money, I'll be emotionally more healthy, and I'll live 4.9 years longer.
You're pulling my arm, huh, Dobe?
That's leg, and no, Maynard, I'm not. It's now or never for me. Marry Zelda or soup kitchens, here I come.
Attention! Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye!
Yeah, Zelda, you don't have to do that. I've decided
Aha! I've got his attention. Now this...
Zelda.
Stir up his interest.
Zelda.
I have here a few audiovisual aids proving that marriage is the most exciting,
Zelda, listen to me. I've decided
Dobie,
to marry you.
Someday you're going to realize that marry me, you, me.
Right.
Maynard, you heard him. He said it. He's going to marry me. He said it. Witnesses, quick, witnesses. Listen, did you hear? He said he's going to marry me.
She's going to be tough to marry without you get a lasso in a neck.
Listen, world, did you hear? Oh, Dobie, I knew you can. You're just knew it.
Zelda, you were right all the time. Can you ever forgive me for making you wait so long?
Oh, it wasn't so long. 12 years, 3 months, and 4 days, but who's counting? Oh, Dobie, you'll never regret this decision. I'm so happy. I want to turn handsprings. I want to run barefoot through the grass. I want to do wild and crazy and dangerous things.
Me too. So I'm going to break the news to my dad. He'll blow a stack.
Blow my stack? No, son. I am not going to blow my stack. I am going to dance at your wedding.
Hey, that's great, Dad.
And after I have danced at your wedding, I shall go out into the alley and cut my throat.
Sure, but that's no way to talk.
How other way is there to talk for a kind, loving father who sees his well-beloved son turning into a knuckle-headed snook?
Dad, listen to me.
Boy, why do you have to get married and fall into that miserable trap?
Yeah.
Winnie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Son, Marriage is a wonderful thing when the time is right, but you've got to be ready for it.
I am ready.
And that's what I said, and look what happened, Winnie. I'm just trying to give the boy some good advice.
Dobie, if I may translate what I suspect that your father is trying to say, don't rush into this marriage. Make sure that it's exactly what you want before you do it. Use your head as well as your heart.
Oh, Winnie, that is exactly what I've been trying to say. Oh, you have a gift for saying the right thing at the right time. You've always had that quality, even if you didn't have any other. No, there it goes.
Dad, this is not a hasty decision. Our professor, Mr. Pomfret, gave us statistics that prove to me how much better off people are married than single.
Dobie, if this is what you truly want, you must have good, sufficient reason.
Of course I do, Mom. In the first place, I'm kind and thoughtful and considerate, and I think I'll be a good husband.
Can you support a wife?
I said I'd be good, not perfect.
And may one ask where the money is coming from?
One may.
Dad, that's a fair question, and you deserve a fair answer.
And Dobie deserves a fair allowance.
Not really an allowance, more like an advance. But we'll pay you back as soon as we can, working here in the store if necessary.
It won't take too long. That Zelda's strong as a horse. Or a pony, anyhow.
Okay, Dad, you know the facts. Now, what's the answer?
I'll tell you what the answer is.
The answer is that your father and I will think it over for a day or two, and so will you, and then we will make our final decision. Fair enough?
Okay, Mom, I'll be glad to wait a couple of days and give it some thought if you want. I'm reasonable.
Good. And Herbert, you'll be reasonable too, won't you?
Him? Oh, come now.
Okay, I'll wait.
Now I'm happy. I know that my two boys will work it out just fine.
Them? Oh, come now.
Maynard, I've got to get over to Zelda's. Bye, Mom. So long, Dad.
Well, Smarty, and what do you think's going to happen when all four of us try to get into the bathroom at the same time in the morning?
Herbert, it is nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. This house has one bathroom. And what house do you think they are going to be living in?
No, Herbert. What I mean is, there's no reason to worry that Dobie and Zelda will get married. They'll talk themselves out of it just as soon as they have a chance to think about it seriously. And if we fight them, it may make things more difficult.
You know, I think I'm going over to that college and make that Pomfret take back all the good things he said about marriage.
Well, that isn't really necessary, dear, but if you want to consult him, I don't see any harm in it.
Just going to straighten him out, that's all.
All right, dear. But promise me, be calm. No violence.
Violence? Me? Winnie, my boy's future is very important to me. I will be calm and gentle as a lamb.
Who is going to punch whom in the nose?
Pomfret, you get my kid over here and tell him all those good things you said about marriage is a lot of rubbish, or you are going to wind up with a mouthful of knuckles.
Mr. Gillis, I consider anyone who threatens force to be a rude, uncouth hooligan.
Getting tired of those teeth you've been using, huh?
Very well, Mr. Gillis. If you insist upon resorting to the physical.
Herbert, no.
You're talking my language.
Although it has been 10 years since I was a judo instructor in the Marine Corps, I was battalion champion 3 years running. Now, where were we?
I was a rude, uncouth hooligan.
Right, you were.
Yeah, but a rude, uncouth hooligan who's trying to save his son from getting caught in the same trap his old man got caught in.
Herbert!
Oh, Winnie, you know what I mean.
Now, Mr. and Mrs. Gillis, the information I gave the class was not intended to make those young people go charging off to the nearest justice of the peace.
Of course, we understand that.
So, if you will bring your son and Miss Gilroy in to see me, I'll do everything in my power to prevent them from acting hastily.
Oh, you're all hard, Pomfret. And I'm going to have those kids over here quicker than you can say, I do.
I do. I certainly do want to hear what you have to say, Dad.
Of course, I don't expect you kids to pay any attention to my advice. You probably look on me as an old fogey.
Oh, no, Mr. Gillis, really, we don't.
I do.
But if you've got your heads made up to go through with this marriage bit, I think maybe first we ought to talk to somebody who knows all about that kind of stuff, see? And then we'll go along with whatever he says, okay?
Yeah, good thinking, Dad.
We'll find a completely impartial authority, but who?
And now, let's not rush into anything, see? Let's take our time. Let's go over and talk to that professor over at the school. What's his name?
Pomfret.
Oh, that's the guy, yeah.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Excellent choice, but he's always so busy. When will he be able to see us?
At 4:15, he's expecting us.
Believe me, Dobie and Zelda, I realize that the task of advising young people on marriage is a very difficult one.
Except for saying, no, that's a cinch.
However, I have made up a list of the elements that I consider essential in the background of participants in a happy marriage. Now, I would like to check you out and see how you measure up on these counts.
They'll measure up miserable, so what's the use of talking?
Dad, we all agreed to go along with Mr. Pomfret's advice, so we certainly ought to listen carefully to him.
I'm listening. What have I got to worry about? Huh, Pompey?
We shall see, Mr. Gillis. Now, the first item is most important. Are your parents happily married?
What's that got to do with anything?
Children of a happy marriage are more likely to be well-adjusted. Yeah, Mr. Pomfret, my parents are like a couple of newlyweds.
My folks are happily married, too.
Good. You score 100% on that question.
Now, hold the phone. Do you mean that if Dobie comes from an unhappy home, the chances are he won't have a happy marriage?
Well, yes.
Dobie, what makes you so sure your parents are happily married?
What? Aren't we happily married?
Winnie, this is not the time or the place to discuss it.
Oh, yes, it is. If we aren't happy, I'd like to hear about it.
Well, I suppose it would have to come out sometime.
And the sometime is now. Tell me, Herbert. Don't spare my feelings.
Oh, Winnie, I'm sorry, but for years I've been running around on the verge of frustration.
Oh? And how long has this been going on?
Ever since the honeymoon.
Dad, if you were that unhappy, Mom and I would have noticed.
Oh, not for me, you wouldn't, boy. I'm the kind who likes to cry privately, like into my pillow.
And all this time I thought you were snoring.
Pomfret, the answer to your question is no. Dobie does not come from a happy home. Next question.
Next question. Dobie and Zelda, did you have a happy childhood?
Yes.
What's that got to do with it?
Happy children grow into well-adjusted adults and make excellent marriage prospects. Mr. Pomfret, I was extremely happy as a child.
Me, too.
You were a pathetic kid, always sniveling.
No, I wasn't, Dad. I was very happy.
Son, you laugh to hide your tears. You come from that kind of stock. You don't remember, but I do. Morose, sullen, miserable. And why? Because you came from an unhappy home.
Herbert, what on earth are you talking about? Dobie was a very happy child, laughing and singing all the time.
Yeah, did you hear that, Professor? That is why he was an unhappy child, because I got a wife who is always contradicting me. Now, it is impossible for a child to have a happy home life when he's got two parents, one of which is always contradicting and arguing with the other. It figures he has to be an unhappy kid. Next question.
Very well. Did you have a strong affection for your mother?
Yes.
Whoa there, whoa.
All right. Speaking for myself, I had a very strong affection for my mother.
I'm talking about this ingrate here, this fresh kid who never did anything good for his mother.
Dad, I love my mother.
That's true. Dobie was always very sweet to me.
Oh, come on, admit it, Winnie. You are just ashamed to tell Pomfret here that we have an unhappy home and a son who is rotten inside. Well, I admit it. I, who am the rotten father of this unhappy father's kid. And the next question.
Did you have a strong affection for your father?
Yes.
And you, tell the truth for a change, will you?
I love you, Dad.
No, come now. How can anybody love me? And that just proves that he's making up the whole blame thing. Next question.
I have no more questions.
All right, and all the answers have been wrong, so let's forget all this marriage jazz and go home. Come on.
Not so fast, Mr. Gillis. You've just given Mr. Pomfret a dramatic demonstration of the love and devotion a father can feel for his son. Mr. Pomfret, don't you see? Mr. Gillis would do anything for Dobie. Lie, cheat, degrade himself, anything. If he thought it was in the best interest of his son.
I realize that, Zelda. And with such a loving family background, academically speaking now, it would seem to me that a marriage between Zelda and Dobie would have every chance of success.
Hey, that's wonderful, Mr.
How can we ever
Pomfret.
thank you,
Hey,
sir?
wait a minute.
Yeah,
What's all
Dad,
this?
Dad, you promised to go along with whatever the professor advised.
Dobie's right. You did promise, dear.
This is the wisest decision you ever made, and you'll never regret it, Papa Gillis.
Zelda, I regretted it before I ever got here. Now it's in spades.
I'm taking down this picture of Napoleon Bonaparte. That's only fair, because Zelda's now in a class by herself. I mean, if she'd been with General Custer, there's no question that the whole thing would now be known as the Indians' last stand. She's unbeatable. So it's inevitable that the day is rapidly approaching when I will be saying two of the truly shattering words in the English language.
I do. Yep, that's what I'm going to say over and like over. When they say, is there anybody here who can give a reason why these two should not be married, I'm going to jump up and say, I do. I'm going to say, you're a bank robber, a safecracker, a trunk murderer, and you got 3 traffic tickets in the last month, and if that don't work, I'm going to faint. I'm going to faint all over the place. I'm going to faint. I'm going to have to give you artificial inspiration.
Maynard, that's respiration and enough. I'm marrying Zelda, and that's all there is to it. Zelda might be true. How good to see you.
Hi, Maynard. Maynard, how come you don't want me and Dobie to get married?
Well, it ain't none of my business, so I'll tell you.
Maynard, stay out of
No,
this.
please, Dobie. I want to hear what he has to say.
Well, ever since he got engaged, old Dobie ain't been the old Dobie used to be.
Says who?
Says me. I just said it. Didn't you hear me?
Continue, Maynard. I want to hear this.
Well, he used to go galloping around after chicks, and pinching flowers off Miss Trigney's lawn to give him, and writing them poems that didn't rhyme, and singing under the windows in the middle of the night, and just acting like some kind of nut. No offense, old nut.
All right, Maynard, since you insist on bringing it up, you're right. I did act like some kind of a nut. I was a perpetual schoolboy, always chasing after a rainbow I couldn't catch. But now that I know my future's with Zelda, I've started to act like a grown-up man. And it's about time, isn't it? I'm calm, I'm secure, I'm settled.
You ain't settled, Dobe. You're like defeated, like scared, like playing it safe, and like copping out.
Thanks, Maynard. Thanks a lump.
You're like welcome, and another
Goodbye,
thing...
Maynard. Maynard was just leaving.
I was?
You were.
Oh, well, so long, Zell. So long, Dobe. Hey, I wonder how he knew I was leaving. I didn't even know I was leaving. Man, what an age we live in.
Maynard means well, but sometimes he sees things kind of funny.
Sometimes he sees things kind of better than anybody else. Dobie, why do you want to marry me?
Huh?
It's a simple question. I want to know why you want to marry me.
Holy cow, Zelda, we went through all that several thousand times.
Please tell me, Dobie. It's important.
Well, sure, if you want. We grew up together. We respect each other. We get along. We laugh at a lot of the same things. We're good for each other.
All true. Anything else?
Well, I guess I could think of some more, but...
What about love?
Love?
It's one word you didn't use. It's a word you've never used to me.
Well, sure, I love you, Zelda, but it's a different kind, a quiet kind, a kind you don't run around shouting about.
And you don't pinch flowers off Mrs. Trigney's front lawn for me either, do you?
Zelda.
Or write me crazy poems that don't rhyme. Or sing under my window in the middle of the night.
Zelda, that's all romantic nonsense.
Right. Maybe being romantic is something you grow out of. But how can I grow out of something I never had?
Look, I never think of doing those goofy things now. Not with you. I feel differently about you, Zelda. Grown up, mature, settled.
No, Dobie. Don't you see? I don't want you to feel grown up and mature and settled around me. I want you to feel young and goofy. I'm a girl. I'm entitled.
But I just don't feel that way about you.
Well, in that case, I just don't feel like getting married.
Zelda, wait a minute.
The wedding is off.
For how long? Till when?
Till my father has to chase you away from under my window in the middle of the night.
Zelda.
Till Mrs. Trigney has to build a great big huge tremendous fence around her flowers to keep you out. Till my mailbox is flooded with crazy poems and not one single word rhymes.
I see what you mean, Zelda.
You'll like it this way better too, Dobie dear. I'm sure of it.
Yes, Zelda. I guess maybe I will. And, Zelda, I'll let you know when to start looking under your window.
Thanks, Dobie. Dobie?
Yes, Zelda?
Don't wait too long, huh?
Oh, hi, Maynard.
Like, bye, Dobe.
Bye? Maynard, I'm not going anyplace.
Sure you are, good buddy. Into the blessed state of community property.
Oh, Maynard, didn't you hear?
Oh, and so I bring in my wedding presents. I like under protest.
Yeah, look,
Here's my
Maynard.
petrified frog.
Yeah.
My ball of tinfoil I've been collecting since I was a little tiny baby. And,
Maynard, look.
my most prized possession of all. The only existing statue carved by hand out of soap of Roger Maris in civilian clothes.
Maynard, didn't you hear? We called it off. Zelda and I are not getting married. Well, what do you say to that?
Give me back my wedding presents, you false pretense.
Dobie, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, Zelda.
Small girl, what would you do if somebody gave you the only existing statue carved by hand out of soap of Roger Maris in civilian clothes?
Wash the dishes with it.
Well, buddy, when you called it off, you done good.
Sing.
Zelda, look.
Oopsie, sing.
Zelda, you promised you'd wait till I was ready.
I am waiting.
Zelda, this is waiting.
You bet your boots. When you get that sudden urge to sing under my window in the middle of the night, I'm going to make sure you're on key, Buster.
Zelda.
Sing.